lend your hand?" The female teacher at the side quickly said, "I'll go get the medicine box." The security room is equipped with an emergency first aid kit. If children get bumped into something on the playground, they usually come here to get disinfectant. The female teacher soon came back with a first aid kit. At this time, the firefighters arrived, and the children stopped crying instantly when they saw the real fire truck. Everyone shouted in surprise, "Look, it's a fire truck." What a naive child. When the two children trapped in the fire were asked why they were in the classroom, they replied that they were going back to sleep. "Maybe because I didn't get enough nap, I fell asleep on the table during the break. Fortunately, no fire broke out while I was sleeping." When the woman who was tied up by several men saw the two children, she was so scared that her face turned blue. But she knew that this class started the fight when they were taken to the playground by the teacher. Unexpectedly, these two children actually sneaked back. Now she knew she was finished. The female teacher came back with the first aid kit and handed it directly to Liu Yina. Obviously, some female teachers also misunderstood Liu Yina and Wen Xiu. However, Liu Yina didn't think much about it and quickly opened the first aid kit to treat Wen Xiu's wound. Wen Xiu looked at Liu Yina, who had become a mother in front of him. He had already applied disinfectant on his hands, and his lips were tightly pursed. However, in his heart, he recalled the scene when he treated Liu Yina's wound after she fell down when they were children. However, the past has become a memory, and in the blink of an eye, Liu Yina has become a mother of 3 children. While handling it, Liu Yina said softly, "Teacher Wen, it may be a little painful, just bear with it, I will handle it soon." Hearing the call of Teacher Wen, some things in his heart were relieved. Maybe he should let it go. As long as Liu Yina is happy, nothing else matters. Looking at the girl in front of him, Wen Xiu smiled faintly. "It doesn't hurt, just take your time." At this time, the police also arrived and quickly evacuated the crowd with the firefighters. The 2 children were also taken to the hospital by ambulance for further examination. Wen Xiu also said that the wound was not serious, and there was no need to go to the hospital. The security guard at the fire scene rushed out as soon as he heard the ambulance coming. The fire was quickly put out by firefighters. However, Liu Yina and Wen Xiu were the key figures in this incident and also helped catch the murderer. So they had to follow the people from the kindergarten and cooperate with the police to go back to the police station to make a statement. Chapter 211, A Fairy Couple, The Tough Guy is Jealous. If Liu Yina and Wen Xiu had not rescued the 2 children, there is a high possibility that an irreversible tragedy would have occurred. Therefore, the people in the police station also respect the 2 of them very much. Moreover, the police issued a commendation post on the same day, especially praising the security guard who put out the fire, Liu Yina and Wen Xiu, as well as those who helped catch the murderer and evacuate the crowd. Among these people, Liu Yina and Wen Xiu were specially praised for their heroic deeds of saving lives. That night, Liu Yina and Wen Xiu made headlines in Hong Kong. All the media thought that Liu Yina was Wen Xiu's wife, and her child was about to go to kindergarten. If Liu Yina knew that the police would misunderstand their relationship and would issue such a notice to praise them, she would definitely explain it clearly to the police uncle. She and Wen Xiu are not the husband and wife relationship they thought. They are just a simple teacher-student relationship now. However, when Liu Yina saw the news in the evening, it was already too late. She and Wen Xiu have become celebrities in Xiangcheng. When the news was broadcast, all the viewers' attention was still focused on this arson case, and they scolded the vengeful female teacher harshly. "Oh my God, who is this person? I thought all kindergarten teachers were kind-hearted people. I never thought there would be such faces." Someone who knows her online heard that the woman is the mistress of the director's husband, so they want to kill the wife. Really? But you can't take it out on these kids. I think people like this are so annoying. These are just conflicts between adults. Why do they take revenge on children? It's so annoying. That's right, people like this should be shot. That's right, we can't let her out to harm others. Although the nature of this arson case was extremely bad, at least no one was killed, so in the end, the audience's discussion point was somewhat diverted. The kindergarten teacher also had a mobile phone, and she posted the video online of Liu Yina and Wen Xiu coming out carrying a fire extinguisher and holding the child, as well as the scene of Liu Yina helping Wen Xiu treat his wounds. Both of them became famous. The arsonist female teacher also received the punishment she deserved, but that is a story for another time. Moreover, it was revealed that Liu Yina was the school belle of Hong Kong and was married with children. It was believed that Wen Xiu was the school belle's husband. All of a sudden, everyone envied Wen Xiu. Everyone calls them a fairy couple. It was only later, when alumni of Zhangde University recognized Wen Xiu as a teacher at the school, that these voices were gradually suppressed. Liu Yina was taken home by the police station, but nothing was told to her family at the time. Yi Chen rushed back to the room with Liu Yina in his arms and hugged her tightly in the room. "Nana, you're going to scare me to death." Yi Chen's voice was a little choked. Liu Yina also comforted him. "You scared me to death. You didn't talk to me all the way. I thought you were angry." Yi Chen still held Liu Yina and was unwilling to let go. "Silly girl, I am most worried about you. I was really afraid that something happened to you. Fortunately, nothing happened. Don't do these things in the future. It scared your husband to death." Liu Yina took a deep breath. "At that time, I thought it was just a small fire, and I should be able to put it out with a fire extinguisher, so I didn't think too much about it, and I also rescued 2 children. Isn't it amazing? Look at me, am I not fine now?" Yi Chen also hugged Liu Yina tightly and refused to let go. "Nana, promise me that you will not do these risky things in the future, okay? I don't want to lose you." When Yi Chen said this, he was also worried. With Liu Yina's kind nature, if there really was a next time, she would do the same thing again. Liu Yina was very moved and comforted Yi Chen. "Hubby, I understand, but I don't want to see so many cute children get hurt. Thank you, husband." After hugging for a long time, Yi Chen finally let go of Liu Yina. "Are you tired?" Liu Yina nodded. "Yeah." Yi Chen carried Liu Yina into the bathroom, and while helping her run the bath water, he said, "Take a bath and relax first. I'll bring your pajamas in for you." Liu Yina nodded, and Yi Chen walked out. When the bathtub was filled with water, Liu Yina recalled the shocking scene of today while soaking in it, and felt a little scared. When she thinks about it now, although she is scared, she does not regret it. Because she saved 2 children, she felt it was all worth it. At this time, Yi Chen also saw the headlines pushed to his mobile phone, and saw the scene of his wife bravely saving people in the news. But the previous messages saying that people envied Liu Yina and Wen Xiu for being a couple were liked and pushed up, which was quite annoying to see. Yi Chen, who was looking at his phone, got jealous. Yi Chen may be jealous, but what he cares most about is naturally Liu Yina's safety. None of these things matter. As long as my wife is fine, nothing else matters. Yi Chen found the pajamas and brought them into Liu Yina. Liu Yina, who was taking a bath, looked at Yi Chen's obviously abnormal expression and smiled. "What's wrong? Am I fine? What happened to make our brother Chen angry?" Yi Chen just forced a smile and handed the news page on his phone to Liu Yina. Liu Yina shook off the water in her hands, took the phone, and when she read the entire notice and the comments, Liu Yina herself was stunned. "Oh no, husband, listen to my explanation. I didn't tell them that Teacher Wen and I were husband and wife. They misunderstood. It's really not what you think." Yi Chen took the phone and said, "Of course I believe you. I'm just afraid that some people don't think so. These are just random comments from netizens. I understand that. You don't have to worry. I'm not angry at all, really. Really, I just want to be very angry." Liu Yina covered her mouth and smiled. "Hubby, are you jealous? You look really good when you're jealous." Yi Chen put his phone aside, and when he turned around, the corner of his mouth curled up. "Do you want me to declare my sovereignty?" Liu Yina splashed water at Yi Chen twice, shouting, "No, hate it." Yi Chen spread his hands. "Look, you've made my clothes wet, so." The fog in the bathroom was getting thicker. Chapter 212. Ginger is still spicy with A. Early the next morning, Yi Chen got up early, and while waiting for Liu Yina to get dressed, he took the ring and put it on her. This is so damn domineering. Liu Yina just likes his domineering nature. She immediately said, "Hubby, don't worry. You're handsome, you're good to me, and you give me money to spend. How could I possibly be interested in other men?" As she spoke, she looked at Yi Chen with a smile, and then fiddled with the big diamond ring on the ring finger of her right hand. Yi Chen nodded. "Yes, considering your performance last night and now, I am very satisfied with you, husband." Liu Yina blushed and smiled secretly. Sure enough, men also need sweet words to coax them. "Wear the ring to school every day from now on," Yi Chen said suddenly, just to remind someone that Liu Yina is my Yi Chen's woman. Although Liu Yina sometimes forgets, her jealous husband will probably give her the ring and help her put it on every day. Although this diamond ring is 2.5 carats, it is considered a large diamond ring for a student. I'm afraid her classmates will talk about it again. However, my husband is already very jealous, so I have to do what he says. Touching the diamond ring, Liu Yina made a silent decision in her heart. I will try to spend less time with Teacher Wen in the future, but he is a teacher, and I still have to attend the class. As for Wen Xiu, Liu Yina thinks he is a good man. She hopes he can meet a woman he truly loves and be happy. However, Yi Chen suddenly changed the subject at this time. You have English class in the first period this morning, and there will be no more classes after that, right? I'll go and wait for you to finish class. He had memorized Liu Yina's schedule, so he knew exactly what classes Liu Yina took and when she was free. And sometimes, if he had classes, he would find excuses to ask for leave. Liu Yina was also shocked. You don't want to do anything to Teacher Wen. When Yi Chen heard the name Teacher Wen, he felt very comfortable. My wife calls me teacher when quite smoothly. What, do you think your husband I am a violent person? Liu Yina shook her head. No, 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 my husband has the best temper. How could that be? I'm just afraid of you. In an impulse, he beat Wen Siyu. Yi Chen, when I saw the comments, I really wanted to hit him. Yi Chen stated directly, don't worry, I won't be impulsive. Liu Yina was relieved now. On the surface, her husband didn't seem like an impulsive person. After putting on the diamond ring, Yi Chen took Liu Yina's hand and walked downstairs. At this time, the whole family was sitting in the living room, waiting for Liu Yina and Yi Chen. The whole family knows what happened yesterday. As old people, they only have time to check their phones before going to bed. That night, Yi Chen's phone and Liu Yina's phone were bombarded with calls from family and friends, and there were dozens of messages on WeChat. It's just that the two of them were too engrossed last night, and in order not to be disturbed, they muted their phones. Now, seeing the family members gathered in the living room, Yi Chen and Liu Yina also understood what had happened. Yi Chen was the first to break the silence. Moms and dads, Nana is fine. I believe you have also seen the news. Our Nana is really brave. Mother Liu also pulled Liu Yina over with a distressed look on her face. Nana, why don't you let a man do something as important as a fire extinguisher? Why do you, a woman, do such dangerous things? If something happens, what will happen to us old bones? What will happen to the children? What will happen to Yi Chen? As she spoke, Mother Liu's eyes became moist. Mother Yi also said distressedly, yes, when you do good things, you really have to do it within your ability. Sigh. Mother Yi also knew that Liu Yina understood these principles, so she didn't continue. Mr. Liu and Mr. Yi were not good at expressing their emotions. After listening to what the two mothers said, they sighed and shook their heads. Liu Yina was at a loss, like a child who had done something wrong. Dad, Mom, don't be sad. I'm standing here peacefully now. Look, I'm really fine. It was our former neighbor, Brother Wen Siyu, who was injured. He caught the arsonist, so his contribution is the greatest. Mother Liu was also surprised when she heard this. Brother Wen Siyu? Is he the son of our neighbor Wen family when you were a child? Liu Yina nodded. Yes, he returned to China and is still a teacher in our school. Mother Liu couldn't help but ask, why does he want to be a teacher in your school? As someone who has experienced this, Mother Liu naturally knows how Wen Siyu felt about Liu Yina during those years. Although they were both young at that time, Wen Siyu was a few years older than Liu Yina, so his personality was more mature and stable, and he still had some romantic feelings for Liu Yina. She saw all of this, but Liu Yina was young and ignorant at the time and did not understand Wen Siyu's feelings. She just treated Wen Siyu as an older brother. If she had not met Yi Chen, married him, and had children with him, Mother Liu would have thought that Wen Siyu would have been a good choice. However, now Liu Yina has married Yi Chen and has a child. She knows what kind of personality her daughter has. Marriage is a lifelong commitment, but Wen Siyu has done this and even went to Liu Yina's university to become a teacher. It seems that Wen Siyu has not given up on Liu Yina yet. However, what Mrs. Liu didn't expect was that Wen Siyu had already let go of his childhood sweetheart feelings for Liu Yina yesterday. So when Mother Liu heard this, she was also shocked. Mother Yi watched the two of them talking to each other, and seemed to have heard something special about Wen Siyu. She couldn't help but wonder in her heart, has her son's love rival appeared? Mother Liu laughed and said, I'm glad you're all right. When you have time, go say hello to the Wen family kid. Let him stop bothering you. Of course, this sentence was not spoken out loud. Mother Liu was already thinking about confronting her daughter in her heart, and asking her daughter to have less contact with Wen Siyu in the future, so as not to cause unnecessary misunderstandings to Yi Chen. But Mother Yi was thinking in her heart, it seems that Yi Chen should pay more attention to Wen Siyu. Nana is relieved, but she doesn't know what other people's plans are. Sure enough, old Ginger is still spicy. The two mothers have a pretty good eye for people, and they spotted the problem right away. Chapter 213, Claiming Sovereignty. Seeing that the two mothers were relieved, Liu Yina and Yi Chen also breathed a sigh of relief. In fact, Mrs. Liu and Mrs. Yi were also disturbed by Wen Siyu's thoughts. After telling Liu Yina and Yi Chen to be careful, they sent them to school. On the way to school, Liu's mother also sent a message to Liu Yina. Nana, I've always felt that the boy surnamed Wen looked at you differently, but I didn't tell you because I thought you were too young. But today, I heard you say that the boy from the Wen family has become a teacher at your school. I have to remind you that I think the boy from the Wen family has some romantic feelings for you. Now that he is a teacher at school, there will definitely be opportunities for you to meet. You should also know that you are married and have children now, and you are no longer the same as before. So Mom thinks that you should have less contact with him to avoid causing unnecessary misunderstandings to others. At the same time, you should also let him know that you are a person with a husband and a happy family, so as to stop him from thinking about you. Don't blame me for being nosy here. Although I know you would never do anything out of line, I don't know what other people think, and neither do you, right? Liu Yina sat in the car, looking at the messages on her mobile phone, feeling mixed emotions. In the past, she really just regarded Wen Siyu as the older brother next door and never thought about that aspect. If she really gave Wen Siyu some illusion, then she would have to take a lot of responsibility. Now all she could do was to slowly distance herself from him and stop giving him any illusions. After thinking about it, Liu Yina replied to her mother, I know, Mom, there is nothing between him and me. Thank you for your concern. When Mother Liu saw Liu Yina's reply, she felt a little relieved. She was a million times satisfied with Yi Chen as her son-in-law, and she absolutely did not want to see any problems in her daughter's marriage, even a little bit of misunderstanding. Yi Chen drove Liu Yina to school. He didn't go to the morning classes and walked on the school road holding hands with Liu Yina. Liu Yina asked Yi Chen, Are you really going to send me to the classroom? Yi Chen said, Of course, I am taking advantage of the heat of this incident to assert my sovereignty. Liu Yina looked at the arrogant husband in front of her and said, Forget it, just let him be. After what happened yesterday, the video was shot close to her face, so it was very clear. After this incident, she not only became popular on the internet, but also became a big celebrity in Hong Kong. Liu Yina probably never thought that she would become a campus celebrity because of this incident. Although she was famous for her beauty before, she is now on the campus list again because of her charity work. When she and Yi Chen walked hand in hand on the school road, they could feel that everyone in the campus was looking at them. Seeing so many people looking at them, Liu Yina lowered her head shyly, almost burying her head in Yi Chen's arms. Now people around were talking about it. Oh my gosh, the school beauty's husband is here. The school beauty's husband should be here to assert his sovereignty, right? Look at the way they hold hands. Tusk, tusk. Of course, my wife has been mistaken for someone else's wife by netizens. If it were you, you wouldn't be able to sit still either. So are you going to show off your love now? Hey, the school beauty is not only beautiful but also kind. I'll drink this bowl of dog food first. Listening to everyone's whispers, Liu Yina finally relaxed a little. Yi Chen ignored everyone's gazes, took his wife's hand and walked to the door of the classroom. Wife, I'll wait for you after class. Liu Yina said, Husband, you should go back first here. At this time, the class bell rang. Yi Chen said, Hurry in. Liu Yina had no choice but to walk into the classroom. At this time, alumni outside the classroom who were also not attending classes were still discussing the matter. It seems that the school beauty's husband is also quite handsome. Most importantly, his temperament is quite aristocratic. You can tell at first glance that she's an aristocrat. Look at her outfit. It would cost at least $200,000. Her shoes are limited editions of a certain brand. The cheapest one would cost at least $100,000. No way, you mean that our school beauty really likes rich men. Please, our school beauty is beautiful and her family is rich, so she must choose a husband who is of equal status to her. Yes, if I had her fairy-like beauty, you wouldn't be able to marry me unless you had tens or hundreds of millions of dollars in wealth. Yes, the school beauty's husband treats her so well. Are you jealous? Jealous that she is rich and yet treats her wife so well. It's not that our school beauty is so beautiful and has a good personality, and she is a good person, so she deserves such a good husband. Yi Chen listened to the voices of the people around him and laughed secretly. But Teacher Wen is not bad either. He is gentle and kind and looks like an older brother next door. He is also a suitable candidate for a husband. However, a sudden sentence made Yi Chen's face turn black. Yi Chen was still waiting outside the classroom door until the get-out of class was over. Liu Yina also ran out to find Yi Chen as soon as possible. Husband! Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina, who was running towards him. At this time, Wen Siyu also walked out from the classroom door. The two men looked at each other. Yi Chen said to Wen Siyu, Thank you for taking care of my wife. Are you free to have lunch later? Liu Yina pulled Yi Chen, but Yi Chen gently took Liu Yina's hand and showed off in front of Wen Xiu. Look, let me show you. This is my wife. The students around were also watching these three people from a distance. Oh my God, is it so explosive? But Teacher Wen did save the school beauty Liu. Her husband is now telling everyone that the school beauty Liu Yina belongs to him alone and not Teacher Wen's wife. Oh my God, the school beauty's husband is so cute. We knew that the school beauty had a husband, but now she actually came to clarify the matter because of what netizens said. She is the real-life version of a wife-protecting maniac. Will Teacher Wen go to have dinner with them? Wen Xiu just smiled and readily agreed on the spot. Okay, see you at lunch. Yi Chen smiled and said, see you in the school cafeteria at 12 noon. After saying this, he took his young wife and left. The people around were also whispering, no way, they only arranged to meet in the cafeteria. Are they going to treat Teacher Wen to a meal like this? They have to go out for a big meal, right? I think the dishes in our cafeteria are pretty good too. Wen Xiu ignored everyone's discussions and looked at Yi Chen and Liu Yina as they walked away hand in hand, and smiled with relief. Chapter 214, Unbearable to Watch. It was still early for lunch, so Yi Chen took Liu Yina back to the RV. After finishing this class, they didn't have any other classes to attend, and Yi Chen had done what he was supposed to do, so he decided to stay in the RV and be comfortable. Not long after, Wen Xiu made a statement on the school forum. In addition to thanking everyone for their attention to this matter, Wen Xiu also directly stated that the relationship between him and Liu Yina is only a teacher-student relationship, and that the encounter was just a coincidence, and it just happened that such a thing happened. He asked everyone not to make other guesses so as not to affect Liu Yina's life. Under this statement, many of Wen Xiu's little fans expressed their love for him. Oh my God, Teacher Wen, you're so handsome and nice. Hubby, I love you. I never thought that Teacher Wen is such a virtuous teacher. I will never skip Teacher Wen's class again. Liu Yina and Yi Chen also saw this statement. Liu Yina couldn't help but laugh at Yi Chen. Look, Teacher Wen has already issued a statement, so don't be jealous anymore. Yi Chen said, you don't have to eat the vinegar, but you must treat me to a meal. I have to thank him very much. At lunchtime, the canteen is the most popular place. At that time, Yi Chen's words had already been heard by the alumni. So the news that Yi Chen was going to invite Teacher Wen to dinner had spread throughout the school. At this time, at a seat on the second floor of the cafeteria, two handsome men were sitting face to face. Liu Yina just felt that the atmosphere was a bit awkward, so she took the meal in front of her and started eating. She really wishes she could use magic to turn herself transparent so that she doesn't want to be noticed anymore. She also didn't understand why Yi Chen had to eat in the cafeteria. It was really crazy. There are quite a few small restaurants in front of the school, and there are also some small and romantic restaurants in the school. It is better to go to those places than to be watched by so many people. At this time, more and more people gathered in the cafeteria. Everyone cast gossipy eyes at them. However, facing the two grown men sitting opposite her, she started chatting as if no one was around. Yi Chen smiled and said to Wen Xiu, I have a class in the first period this afternoon, and I think the food in our cafeteria is also good, so I will treat you to a meal here, do you mind? Wen Xiu met Yi Chen's gaze and nodded. I also think the canteen is good, but if you want to treat me, I'll treat you. After all, this matter has caused Nana a lot of trouble. I'm sorry if you misunderstood me. Outsiders may not know the relationship between Wen Xiu and Liu Yina, but Yi Chen knows. Whether he knew it or not, Yi Chen's purpose was to assert his sovereignty, and there was nothing wrong with meeting him in the cafeteria. Yi Chen waved his hands and said, How can this be possible? I promise to treat you. In addition to thanking you for saving my wife during the fire, I also thank you for the statement you just issued and for taking care of my wife all the time. Liu Yina looked at the two men in front of her and really wanted to say at this moment, I'll treat you. But she didn't dare. Wen Xiu looked at Liu Yina, who was just concentrating on eating, and suddenly smiled. Thank you. In fact, I have always regarded Nana as a little sister. As for the fire scene, probably any man would take action if he were there. So it's nothing. And about the statement, I naturally don't want others to misunderstand Nana. Yi Chen raised his eyebrows and laughed. Thank you, Teacher Wen, for this time. From now on, I will be the only one to protect my wife. When Liu Yina heard the name, Teacher Wen, she buried her head even deeper. I hope Wen Xiu can understand that the macho man in her family is just jealous. In this way, Liu Yina kept her head down while eating and did not dare to look up. Under the gaze of everyone in the cafeteria, the three of them finished their meal. Wen Siyu left early on the grounds that he had classes in the afternoon and had to go back to prepare for the lessons. Yi Chen wiped Liu Yina's mouth and took Liu Yina's hand and left the cafeteria. Yi Chen was also very satisfied with Wen Siyu's answer. Liu Yina was dragged by Yi Chen for a walk on the campus road and unknowingly came to the place where they had rested before. Yi Chen also let Liu Yina sit on his lap, pressed her head, and started kissing her. It was about 30 or 40 seconds before Liu Yina pushed Yi Chen away. "That's enough, I can't breathe. I still have 2 classes in the afternoon," Liu Yina said angrily. After Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina and let her breathe smoothly, he said, "Okay, Nana, I don't have classes in the afternoon. I have to go to the pharmaceutical factory to take a look. I will come back to pick you up in the afternoon." Liu Yina nodded and said, "Well, okay, don't get too tired." Outside the classroom door, watching the man's back as he walked away, Liu Yina then returned to the classroom for class. Liu Yina is now the focus of attention of the whole class. She has also added several classmates, and several classmates have formed a group. There were also group messages from schoolmates on her phone, but she hadn't had time to read them since she was with Yi Chen. Liu Yina sat in her seat and took out her cell phone to look through it before class started. "Junior 1, Senior Nana, you're famous again." Then a link to a post on the campus forum was sent to me. "Schoolgirl 2, Senior Nana is your brother-in-law so fierce." Wow, this time I sent a screenshot directly. The title of the first picture is, "The school beauty is doted on by her husband, who hugs her and kisses her madly for 45 seconds. Wow, are you using your phone to count the time? Next are the photos taken by others. Liu Yina looked at the photo, covered her red face, and couldn't bear to look at it. Schoolgirl 3, wow, sisters, in the future you need to find a husband who is this fierce and domineering. Liu Yina covered her face and looked at the post. It's very immersive. I've been licking the screen for 30 minutes. Oh my God, this author is really amazing. He was able to take a picture like this and it's so clear. It really makes me excited. This action is familiar yet strange. I'll try it when I go back tonight. The school beauty's husband kissed passionately for 45 minutes, and the actual combat lasted for 2 seconds. The author replied to the above poster. The poster is spreading rumors. The school beauty's husband is warned by a lawyer's letter. No way, it's been 45 minutes, there won't be anything. You can't see it even if it's upstairs. I say, author, isn't it not good to expose other people's photos like this? The author replied, originally, I didn't want to post this, but the school belle's husband's actions this time clearly told everyone that this is what the school belle's husband looks like. So this post of mine will definitely not be reported by the person herself. Liu Yina felt so embarrassed when she saw these comments. It's over, it's over. From now on I have to keep my head down and behave myself in school. At the headquarters of Bayadeli Security Company, security team leader Wang Lin sat at the computer, quietly clicked hide on the location, and then clicked send. Chapter 215, Reward Targeted Gene Pills. And the other side. When Yi Chen was halfway there, the system suddenly rang. Beep, the host cares about his wife and gives her a first-level gene pill. The pill has been placed in the system space. The host can take it out and take it at any time. Special reminder, this pill is only effective for the host himself. Just swallow it directly with water. What's going on? Why does it feel like the system sends me medicine lately? Could it be a medicine that also improves physical fitness? And it's only me who can use it, no one else can. But this system doesn't say what the pills are used for. But we don't have time now. Let's go to the pharmaceutical factory first. Chen Zugui had sent a message last night, saying that the R&D staff had found someone and asked him to go over there and take a look. The decision on who would stay would still be up to the major shareholder, Yi Chen. I made an appointment with Chen Zugui to meet in the afternoon, and also asked the landlord of the pharmaceutical factory to come over. Yi Chen drove the RV to the pharmaceutical factory, which took almost an hour. Although this pharmaceutical factory is a bit remote, it is large enough and it is very convenient for expanding the factory for future development. When Yi Chen arrived at the pharmaceutical factory, the first person he met was the R&D personnel invited by Chen Zugui. Under the leadership of Chen Zugui, Yi Chen met with these highly educated R&D personnel one by one. Having met all these people, Yi Chen naturally used his skill of knowing people with a discerning eye to analyze these people. Fortunately, these people were fine, and Yi Chen was relieved. After those people left, Yi Chen took out a small bottle of magic potion from his pocket, handed it to Chen Zugui, and said, "This small bottle is a potion that can help the human body improve immunity. Can you do some research?" analyze the substance, and see if you can maximize its use. Chen Zugui took the small bottle of medicine, looked at it again, and replied, "Yes, Mr. Yi, our team will research it as quickly as possible. Please rest assured, Mr. Yi." Although he didn't know what Yi Chen was up to, he was professional when it came to research. Yi Chen naturally knew that this magical potion was not something that Chen Zugui and his team could research. The purpose of saying this was just to see if there was any potential that this potion could unleash. At this moment, a Mercedes-Benz drove into the gate of the pharmaceutical factory. Chen Zugui looked out the window, pointed at the gate, and said to Yi Chen, "Mr. Yi, the landlord is here." The outer door opened, and a middle-aged man got out of the car. It was obvious that the landlord was very familiar with this place. Without anyone leading the way, he went straight to Chen Zugui's office. In the office, Chen Zugui had already prepared a pot of fine tea and was waiting to greet us at the door. "Boss Hu, it's been a long time since we last met." Chen Zugui greeted the landlord, Boss Hu, enthusiastically. Boss Hu and Chen Zugui are old acquaintances, and they were quite warm when they met. Chen Zugui quickly introduced Boss Hu. "Boss Hu, come in and sit down. This is my boss, Mr. Yi Chen." Then he said to Yi Chen, "Mr. Yi Chen, this is the landlord who rented the factory to us." Boss Hu looked at the handsome young man in front of him and nodded. Yi Chen stood up and extended his right hand to Boss Hu. "Hello, Boss Hu, nice to meet you." Boss Hu also reached out and shook Yi Chen's hand. "Hello, Mr. Yi Chen." After exchanging pleasantries, the two of them went straight to the point. Boss Hu looked at the vigorous young man in front of him and said with emotion, "It's really good to be young. You have courage. I admire you." Naturally, Boss Hu had already heard about the series of changes in the pharmaceutical factory from Chen Zugui in advance, and he was very impressed with this young man who was able to come up with 5 billion yuan at once. "I heard from Director Chen that you want to buy my land," asked Boss Hu. Yi Chen was also very direct. "Yes, Boss Hu, I wonder how much money you want to give up." Boss Hu smiled and said, "That's a good price. If it's suitable, I will definitely sell it. I just don't know how much you can afford." Yi Chen smiled and said, "As far as I know, Boss Hu, you bought this land more than 10 years ago. The price at that time was only 1/10 of the current price. It has increased tenfold." Boss Hu also laughed, "But the money back then is not the same as the money now." "Yi Chen, I understand this, so I have a plan. Do you accept it?" Boss Hu smiled and said, "You can say whatever you want." Yi Chen said, "You sell it to me at the current market price, and then I will give you an extra 60 million. What do you think?" Boss Hu thought silently in his heart that this piece of land was probably only worth about 200 million, and the annual rent was only a few million, less than 10 million. Yi Chen was now giving an additional 60 million, which was like collecting rent for almost 10 years. Moreover, the land price in Xiangcheng has reached its peak, unless it is to be developed into a new district. But this is definitely impossible in such a suburban area, at least in the next 20 to 30 years. Thinking of this, Boss Hu decided on the spot, "Okay, young people are straightforward. I'm not the kind of person who procrastinates." The two happily signed the contract for the sale of the 3,000 square meter factory. Because the land here is relatively remote, the price is only about 50,000 yuan per square meter. These more than 3,000 square meters were sold for 160 million yuan, plus an additional compensation of 50 million yuan. The direct sale price was 210 million yuan. Finally, Boss Hu had to leave first because of something, and would make an appointment tomorrow to complete the transfer procedures. Yi Chen likes to do business with such straightforward people, so Boss Hu is also suitable for making friends. Yi Chen checked some of the new facilities in the factory, and then checked the factory's staff dormitories. Yi Chen also pointed out some areas that needed improvement. After finishing all this, it was already very late. Yi Chen looked at the time and saw that Liu Yina was about to finish her class for the day, so he sent her a message asking her to wait for him at school for a while. It was about an hour's drive from the school, so Yi Chen rode back as fast as he could. When they arrived at school, Liu Yina had been waiting for Yi Chen for half an hour. Yi Chen was also very sorry. "Wife, I'm sorry. I stayed a little longer at the pharmaceutical factory. Don't be angry." Liu Yina said, "I'm not angry. I just waited for half an hour, but you should be careful when driving. Don't drive too fast just because you are in a hurry to come back. Drive slowly. Safety comes first. Do you understand?" Yi Chen comforted her. "I know, honey. Let's go home." Chapter 216, Trying the Gene Pill. It was about 5:30 when Liu Yina returned home and went to the baby's room to accompany her child. After Yi Chen teased the child for a while, he said hello to Liu Yina. Wife, I'm going back to my room to rest for a while. Call me when it's time for dinner. Liu Yina thought he was too tired. After all, he went to the pharmaceutical factory in the afternoon, so she quickly asked him to go back to his room to rest. At this time, Liu Yina's cell phone suddenly rang. It turned out to be a message from her best friend Gu Yingying, also asking about the specific circumstances of the matter. Liu Yina couldn't help but tease. This time, you received the message a little late. Gu Yingying looked at her phone, then glanced at Yi Hui, who was sitting next to her playing games, smiled, and replied, "Recently, I've been with Yi Hui." Liu Yina couldn't help but exclaimed, "Living together." Gu Yingying sent a tilde. A shy expression was added at the end. The two of them started chatting like this. In the bedroom, Yi Chen closed the door. Take out a genetic pill in a small transparent bottle from the system space. He held up the bottle and looked at the small light blue pill inside. Yi Chen said to himself, "I don't know what is the effect of this level of pills." Without thinking, Yi Chen poured out the pill and swallowed it directly without even drinking water, because he believed that the things rewarded by the system must be good things. After swallowing the pill, Yi Chen lay down on the bed to rest. About 15 minutes later, Yi Chen was awakened by his own body temperature. Feeling extremely hot all over, Yi Chen suddenly sat up on the bed. He really can't stand it anymore. It's so hot. All his clothes were soaked, and the quilt was also wet with his sweat. Moreover, Yi Chen felt that his whole body was sore and uncomfortable. At this time, Liu Yina also opened the door and called Yi Chen to go downstairs for dinner. And when he saw Yi Chen, he was also shocked, because at this time Yi Chen's whole body was as red as a cooked shrimp. "And I was soaked all over." Liu Yina thought Yi Chen had a fever, so she quickly stepped forward and helped Yi Chen up from his kneeling position. "Husband, honey, are you okay? Don't scare me. I'm calling an ambulance now." Yi Chen was a little exhausted and raised his hand weakly to block Liu Yina. "Wife, no need to call, I'm fine." After exhaling a breath of foul air, he continued, "I will be fine in a while, I will explain it to you then." Then he curled up in Liu Yina's arms again. Liu Yina was also scared. However, when she heard Yi Chen say that there was no need to call an ambulance, she was still worried and held the phone tightly in her hand, ready to call an ambulance at any time. Hugging Yi Chen tightly, "Then I'll tell my family first, please leave some food for me, I hope you're okay." Yi Chen said to Liu Yina, "I'm thirsty, pour me a glass of water." Liu Yina quickly pulled off the quilt, put it under Yi Chen, and let Yi Chen lie down. Then he went to the kettle on the table and poured a full cup of warm water. He picked up Yi Chen from the ground with the cup and put the water into Yi Chen's mouth. Yi Chen drank the water greedily. "I want more." Liu Yina simply brought a whole pot of water and slowly poured it for him to drink. Yi Chen drank a whole pot of water, more than 3 liters. Moreover, there was more and more sweat on the body, and the color was slightly yellow and sticky. About 15 minutes later, Yi Chen finally recovered. I quickly explained to Liu Yina, "I just tried a product developed by the pharmaceutical factory. It is good for the body. It's just not sold to the public yet. I didn't expect it to be so strong. I just felt sore all over, but now I feel relaxed, and I feel so much better." Liu Yina also felt that Yi Chen's face had become ruddy, but she was still a little scared about Yi Chen's drug testing. "Worried, I was really scared just now. I thought you were sick." Yi Chen smiled and said, "Don't worry, my husband is fine. I feel full of strength now, including my second brother." I couldn't help but sigh. This medicine is really good. He felt the stickiness on his body and took another look at the stains on Liu Yina's body. Yi Chen said, "Wife, you are also stained by my sweat. Let's take a bath together." Before Liu Yina had the chance to refuse, she was picked up by Yi Chen. It was not until 9 o'clock in the evening that Yi Chen and Liu Yina went downstairs to eat. Seeing Yi Chen's energetic appearance, Liu Yina once thought that the medicine developed by Yi Chen's pharmaceutical factory was about that aspect. Everyone stared at Liu Yina, and Yi Chen with a tacitly knowing look that said, "We all understand." Liu Yina immediately went crazy. Today was the most embarrassing moment in her life. What just happened also made Liu Yina have some doubts. After quickly finishing dinner, Liu Yina and Yi Chen went to the baby's room. After coaxing the baby to sleep, I returned to the bedroom. Liu Yina then pulled open Yi Chen's clothes, wanting to see more clearly. Yi Chen also teased, "Wife, wasn't it enough just now, so soon, huh?" Liu Yina blushed and felt a little shy, but she naturally wanted to clarify the doubts in her heart. "I'm not here to chat with you. I didn't have time to ask you just now. You just said that you were trying the new drug developed by your pharmaceutical company. What kind of drug is that?" and I feel like after you took it, your skin seems to be plump. Having said that, he came over and pulled Yi Chen's clothes off. Yi Chen simply took off all his clothes. Now Liu Yina became even more popular. In fact, Yi Chen himself also had this feeling, especially after taking a shower. He felt full of energy and strength all over his body. Yi Chen raised his hands, looked at the muscles in his hands and body, and was very satisfied with himself. Liu Yina touched him and said, "Hubby, I always feel like you've become a different person. I feel like something is different, but I can't put my finger on it. And just now you were really different." Yi Chen also showed off his muscles and said, "It's different. The system rewards are really good things. I feel full of strength, as if I have a new body." Chapter 217, New Discovery of the Magic Potion. Liu Yina looked at her husband in front of her and asked with concern, "Husband, you haven't told me what medicine your company is developing." Yi Chen smiled and said, "Well, it's the company's medicine for strengthening the body. It's just that the reaction is a bit strong. The medicine in the future will be more perfect." Liu Yina said, "They really need to work harder. If everyone has such a severe reaction after taking this medicine, then no one will buy it." Yi Chen, "Yeah, the reaction is a bit big, but the effect is quite good. We need to strengthen it a little bit." Liu Yina said worriedly, "Your company's medicine hasn't been developed yet, and we don't know if there are any side effects. Why don't you go to the hospital for a checkup tomorrow? See if there is anything wrong with your body." Yi Chen also nodded and told a white lie. "Well, okay, I will go if I am free tomorrow." "Well, wife, were you satisfied with me just now?" Yi Chen smiled evilly at Liu Yina. Liu Yina hit Yi Chen's chest muscles again with her hand. "Hate it. No matter what you become, you are still you, I like you, and don't try undeveloped drugs in the future. What if something goes wrong, there are side effects or something like that? What can I do?" Liu Yina was also worried that Yi Chen would try out drugs indiscriminately and develop some problems with his body. Yi Chen also promised again, "Okay, I got it, wife. I will never try the semi-finished products developed by the company again. Hey, the system will still try." However, after receiving these system rewards, Yi Chen also discovered a problem. Recently, the money rewarded by the system has been getting less and less. Even if he has some contact with the babies, the reward of 100,000 or 1 million is far from enough in his opinion. After all, now in addition to applying the magic potion to health products, he also has to start his charity work. Even though he has a fortune of nearly 100 billion, he doesn't even have a few billion in his pocket now, so it is quite frustrating. However, the money in your pocket will only become less and less. Only when money makes money can it become more and more. In many cases, it is not necessary to rely on system rewards. The most important thing is to have money in your hands. The key is to be able to make money yourself. So Yi Chen was thinking about this problem the whole night. Of course, he has also thought clearly about charity, and will use part of the money he earns for charity and give back to society. The next morning, Yi Chen received a call from Chen Zugui. "Mr. Yi, I'm so sorry to bother you so early in the morning, but I really can't wait to share a piece of good news with you. When I received the bottle of water you gave me yesterday, I started researching it with the members of the R&D team that afternoon. I didn't expect it. After a night of research by our research team, we found that your bottle of potion is really amazing. We can't figure out what this bottle of water is made of, but we know that it can enhance the performance of all drugs. For example, once this drug comes into contact with this water, its performance will increase tenfold." Yi Chen was also very surprised. Really? At first, Yi Chen just hoped that they could research what the substance of this potion was, and then apply this potion to health products to enhance physical fitness. Unexpectedly, it actually has such an effect. Chen Zugui hadn't finished speaking yet. "It's true, Mr. Yi. In my opinion, this potion can be patented. Maybe the developer of this potion can even win an international award. Also, this potion should be concentrated, right? The more you give, the higher the activity. So, if you use this potion to blend with other substances, you have to pay attention to the amount. However, if you use it alone, there will be no such problem, so we all think this is amazing." Yi Chen also said on the phone, "Then you can see how to make this health product. It would be best if it can be used by everyone." Chen Zugui asked, "Then, do you really not need to use medicine?" Yi Chen also thought about it. "The amount has not been determined yet, but as for this health product, let's do it first, try to research it out as soon as possible, determine the safety of the product, and complete all the procedures." Chen Zugui promised, "Mr. Yi, please rest assured that there will be no problem with the procedures. After all, we have been doing this for more than 10 years." Yi Chen, regarding what you said about using this potion for medicine, as you said, we still have to be cautious. After all, we don't know if there will be any problems if the two are combined. Chen Zugui. Okay, we will study the pharmaceutical issues while we are doing well in the field of health products. We will definitely create better benefits for the company. Build the pharmaceutical company into a bigger brand. Let everyone know it. This is also what Chen Zugui most wants to see. Looking at the pile of brand new equipment in front of him, Chen Zugui was also filled with emotion. After Yi Chen hung up the phone, he continued to go to school. On the way to school, Yi Chen was also very excited. If this magic potion really has such an effect as Chen Zugui said, then wouldn't he make a fortune? If it can really be used in medicine, then it would be. Yi Chen really didn't dare to think further. At the beginning, Yi Chen just wanted everyone to improve their immunity and get sick less. It was that simple. However, he didn't expect that the system's magic potion would have such an unexpected effect. Yi Chen really didn't expect this. Yi Chen really needs to replan the future direction of the pharmaceutical factory. We can't just produce health products, we also have to develop towards pharmaceuticals. Therefore, the R&D team must be good enough to develop better products for hospitals and pharmacies to use. Selling health products is a piece of cake, because Yi Chen himself owns a chain of maternal and child stores. He can put the products in the stores and let the salesmen promote them. As long as he has the formal procedures, he can sell them in major shopping malls, pharmacies, etc. But medicines are different. The approval process is much stricter than that of health products. So this matter cannot be rushed. Let's first get a handle on the healthcare products, and then slowly develop new products. Thinking of this, Yi Chen couldn't help but smile comfortably. Sure enough, professional matters should be left to professionals. Chapter 218, Father Liu comes to the door. At noon, I received a call from Wang Lin, the security captain of Bayadeli Security Company. Yi Chen answered the phone and talked with Wang Lin for several minutes. Yi Chen, humph, fortunately it's just money. Did that woman give my father-in-law those things to drink? Wang Lin, yes, Mr. Yi Chen, but don't worry, everything is under our control. Yi Chen, well, let her be proud for a while and let her relax her guard. You guys keep a close eye on her. Wang Lin, yes, Mr. Yi Chen. In fact, Wang Lin couldn't understand it, because the evidence in their hands was enough to accuse Liu Yivi, the vicious woman. Why didn't Mr. Yi Chen take the next step? Yi Chen still had to find an opportunity to see if Father Liu had noticed Liu Yivi's little trick. After finishing the call, he turned around and looked at Liu Yina. Nana, my people found that Liu Yivi has made new moves recently. Liu Yina was also shocked. Really, what did she do? Yi Chen did not hide it from her and said it directly. He swallowed the money for dinner and asked the chef to make trouble. I don't know how many people he bribed. Liu Yina sighed. Why do you think she did this? Is she going to ruin the restaurant? Yi Chen smiled and said, I think her goal is not only to destroy the restaurant, but also to destroy your family. Don't forget, she also did this to your father. This is to destroy your family. Liu Yina was helpless. To be honest, our family doesn't owe her anything. Why does she have to do things so ruthlessly? If she really has no money, my dad's shops in his hometown can give it to her. After all, we have already come to Xiangcheng now, alas. Yi Chen also hugged Liu Yina. Wife, don't be sad for such a person, it's not worth it. Yi Chen looked at his wife's reaction and knew that even if Liu Yivi's true face as a bad woman was exposed, his wife, including Liu's father and mother, would still let Liu Yivi go. There is no way who made them have such a relationship. But as long as Liu Yivi is driven away and does not stay here to harm his family, whether she is dead or alive has nothing to do with him, Yi Chen. Thinking of this, Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina tighter. His family is the one he should protect the most. No one else is important. A few days later, I received a call from Hu Jingkang, chairman of the Dahai Charity Foundation. Hello, Mr. Yi Chen. I am here to report on the progress of Liu Mingxuan's condition. Yi Chen quickly said, if it's about how much money was spent, then there's no need to talk about it. No matter how much money is spent, I won't stop it. As long as the child's illness is cured, that's all. President Hu Jingkang was stunned for a moment, then immediately said, it is like this, Mr. Yi Chen. Since you have already told me this, I will skip this step, because I have not found a bone marrow that matches Liu Mingxuan and he. Yi Chen said, if you have something to say, just say it directly, don't hesitate. President Hu Jingkang quickly continued, little Liu Mingxuan's condition is not optimistic. It would be best to find him a suitable bone marrow as soon as possible, so we hope to issue an announcement to let more people know about this situation. Yi Chen couldn't help but be stunned. Not optimistic. How serious is it? How many days has it been since the diagnosis? Didn't I tell you to use the best machines and the best medicines? Why is it getting worse? President Hu Jingkeng quickly explained. Because the child's health is too poor and he has been malnourished for a long time, his resistance is not good. After a chemotherapy, his body can't bear it anymore. Resistance. Resistance again. Yi Chen sighed and said, then send it quickly. You don't need to ask me for these trivial matters in the future. Also, make arrangements tomorrow morning. I will do a match to see if it can match him. President Hu Jingkeng couldn't help but be surprised. This. Okay, Mr. Yi Chen, I will go back and arrange it immediately. Yi Chen thought for a moment, and then said to Hu Jingkeng on the phone, write a sentence in the announcement that whoever is suitable will be given a nutrition fee of 1 million. Also, this plan can also be used for all donors. Back up the samples here first. If there is a suitable one, all the nutrition fees will be in place. President Hu Jingkeng quickly said, yes, yes, yes. This chairman is really generous. I guess once this plan comes out, there will be a lot of people who will try to match it and keep a sample. If it comes in handy in the future, they will get 1 million. However, the foundation's words do play an encouraging role. Yi Chen went to do the matching early the next morning. The results will be out in about 3 to 4 days, and Yi Chen can only wait. In the afternoon, after Yi Chen finished his first class, he was taken to the pharmaceutical factory by Chen Zugui. Because the new brand name of the pharmaceutical factory has been completed today, the construction team came to install it today. Watching the old factory sign being taken down by the workers, Chen Zugui was filled with mixed emotions. Fortunately, he is still here. He is still here. Although he has changed his name, he still loves this job and every inch of land here. Yi Chen also noticed Chen Zugui's mood changes, but he didn't say anything. After all, when the old and the new are exchanged, only those with strength can stand at the top. Looking inside and outside the factory, new slogans and a new factory name have been put on, and the employees have also changed into new uniforms. It only took a few days to switch from the old to the new. Now, Chen Zugui feels that the most important thing for him is to do his duty well. After all, Mr. Yi Chen can give him such a good platform and opportunity. That's why he is not unemployed in middle age. After dinner in the evening, Father Liu found Yi Chen and Liu Yina with an account book. Nana, Yi Chen, I feel like the store isn't making any money lately. Can you guys come and see what's wrong? Liu Yina took the account book from her father and frowned, saying, Dad, this. How can I understand it? Yi Chen took a look at the account book. He had already learned about the store's situation from Wang Lin, but because he wanted to handle it personally, Yi Chen had to say, Dad, looking at this account book, I only see that the store's income is not enough to cover its expenses. Although the store is making money due to high costs, the store has actually begun to suffer losses. Father Liu was also confused. My rent is the cheapest in the entire building and also the cheapest in the entire downtown of Hong Kong. Even if the cost is a little higher, I should still make a profit. Yi Chen said, Dad, how about this? Leave this matter to me. I will help you take a look. Father Liu nodded. Well, okay then. Then he smiled and said, Yi Chen, come on, I'm rooting for you. After hearing this, Yi Chen suddenly felt a conspiracy. Chapter 219, Yi Chen reorganizes the restaurant. Yi Chen and Liu Yina returned to the room and started discussing with the account book. Husband, you said you already know what means my cousin Liu Yue will use to run the restaurant. Yi Chen came over, took the account book and put it aside. Don't look at it. This account book was originally made for us to see. You won't be able to see anything even if you look at it. Yi Chen pulled Liu Yina directly into his arms and kissed her on the top of her head. Wife, don't think about anything now. I said I will help you. Liu Yina was also anxious. Can't you tell me in advance how to deal with her? Besides, you haven't told me in detail how to deal with her. I just don't want you to know some of the darkness in the business world. But since you want to know so much, I'll tell you. Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina and said slowly, let's analyze it from her perspective first. If she really wants to bring down Liu Fuji, she will definitely do it at all costs. But first of all, she is currently only targeting the Liu Fujai in Xiangcheng, and she has not touched the ones in Yuncheng. In addition, the things she did to your father are very clear in her purpose. That is, she is only targeting your Liu family. I mean, you should understand, right? Liu Yina looked up at Yi Chen. So what you mean is that she just wants to mess with our Liu family and bring down my father. Then what? Does she want to swallow up our father's Liu Fujai? Yi Chen nodded. You've hit the nail on the head. Not only that, there were several times when I noticed that the way she looked at me was very different. I think she might have that intention towards me. Liu Yina was shocked. What? You said she likes you. He took a deep breath. How is it possible? Yi Chen said, how is it impossible? Don't you see that your husband is handsome and rich? Any woman should be attracted to me, so wife, you have to keep an eye on me. Liu Yina hit Yi Chen. Let's talk about serious matters, go on. Yi Chen said, I won't say much about whether she likes me or not. Anyway, I only love you. Liu Yina nodded and said, well, I really trust you. I still have confidence in myself. Then go on. Yi Chen continued, since she wants to mess with the newly opened Liu Fujai in Xiangcheng, she will definitely cause problems in the management of the restaurant, and we already have evidence of this. I won't tell you now. You will know when the time comes. Liu Yina, is it impossible to tell? I want to know. Well, I'll tell you tomorrow night. Yi Chen also kept it a secret. Liu Yina sighed. Actually, I have thought about this question before. If my father let me inherit the store, I would definitely take it over. I can also learn these from my father. Yi Chen also touched Liu Yina's hands with great pity. These hands are so smooth. How can I let you do such rough work? Don't worry, your husband is here. He will help you. Besides, do you know how to get food wholesale? Where can I find cheap and good food? Do you know how to store these ingredients so they don't rot so easily? Liu Yina was stunned by the question. I don't know, but I can learn from my dad. Besides, I'm the owner of a restaurant. Do I need to know all this? Yi Chen said, so, if you don't even know these, it's easy for others to take advantage of you. Even though your restaurant is full every day, you just can't make any money. What's the point of opening a restaurant that doesn't make money? He continued, not only that, but also, do you know how long it takes for each dish to be cooked and served? In addition, are all your employees clean and trustworthy? Have you ensured that these people will not tamper with the dishes during the cooking and serving process? There are many more. Yi Chen wanted to say something, but Liu Yina quickly hugged him tightly. Forget it, husband, don't say anything more. I'll just focus on painting and cook for you occasionally. I'll leave the rest to you and wait for you to support me. Yi Chen nodded. Well, my wife actually realized this truth so quickly, not bad. Yi Chen decided to take his wife there to take a look during dinner tomorrow. Look at what kind of face Liu Yivi has. It will also help my father-in-law and my wife to recognize this Liu Yivi. At night, Yi Chen brought his wife to the restaurant, while Liu Yina called her good sister Gu Yingying. Gu Yingying came with Yi Hui. Since the last incident, their relationship has deepened to the point where they are already semi-living together. The four of them entered the restaurant together, and Father Liu welcomed them in warmly. Father Liu initially wanted to arrange for them to stay in a private room, but Yi Chen refused. At this time, Liu Yivi also saw Yi Chen coming, and she couldn't help but smile in her heart. She quickly changed her employee uniform into a little black dress and high heels while no one was paying attention. She was originally wearing an old-fashioned employee uniform just to gain Mr. Liu's trust and take over the power in his hands so that she could handle her affairs. After changing clothes, Liu Yivi walked to Yi Chen's side enthusiastically and refilled the tea for them. Brother Yi Chen, why are you free to come here today? Everyone present, except Yi Hui, could smell the scent of green tea in the air. Yi Hui picked up the tea that Liu Yivi had poured and took a sip. It smells really good. It tastes good. I want another cup. Gu Yingying immediately snatched his teacup away. Why are you drinking so much green tea? Drink your boiled water. Then she poured Yi Hui a glass of boiled water and handed it to him. Drink it. Yi Hui glanced at everyone, then at Gu Yingying and thought to himself, what did I do wrong again? Not knowing what was going on, he looked at his elder brother Yi Chen. Yi Chen just glanced at Liu Yivi, who was standing next to him. But Liu Yivi was holding a teacup and standing there awkwardly. She chuckled and said, you still have to listen to your girlfriend. Yi Hui glanced at Liu Yivi, and there was not much change on his face. He leaned close to Gu Yingying's ear and said, why are you being so mean to me? This woman is not pretty, not even half as pretty as you. When Gu Yingying heard this, she felt happy immediately. Humph, I can tell your fortune. In fact, Yi Hui was just telling the truth. Liu Yivi is indeed not as pretty as Gu Yingying. Liu Yivi saw that no one paid any attention to her, and Yi Chen didn't even look at her, so she couldn't help feeling a little disappointed. He pushed some appetizers towards Yi Chen and said, Brother Yi Chen, this appetizer is delicious. You can try it. Yi Chen pushed the side dishes in front of Yi Hui. I've been a little irritated recently. I can't eat these things right, wife. Liu Yina also seemed to sense Liu Yivi's different attitude towards Yi Chen. Chapter 220, Rectification of Liu Fujai. Yi Chen had already confessed to him last night. It seemed that his cousin Liu Yivi really had feelings for Yi Chen. Thinking of this, Liu Yina felt uncomfortable. Yi Chen naturally noticed his wife's mood, because his hand was about to bleed from being scratched by Liu Yina. Yi Chen stared and took away Liu Yina's hand that was secretly grabbing him. Then he breathed a sigh of relief. Yi Hui looked at the snacks that Yi Chen pushed in front of him, glanced at Gu Yingying who looked at him with murderous eyes, and immediately pushed the snacks to the other side. I don't like it. Liu Yue no longer looked at Yi Hui and the others, and her face was a little embarrassed. I'll go over there first. Gu Yingying also picked up her phone and whispered to Liu Yina. Nana, why didn't you notice that your cousin seemed to have something for Yi Chen? Liu Yina picked up the phone and glanced at Gu Yingying. She didn't expect that even Gu Yingying could see it, but she only found out about it last night. In the past, I might have thought that Yi Chen was overthinking or joking, but now I have seen it with my own eyes, and it is confirmed. Liu Yina replied, You knew it a long time ago, right? Why are you telling me now? Gu Yingying was helpless. Nana, I'm sorry, I thought she just admired Yi Chen. I didn't expect her to be so outrageous. Besides, you and Yi Chen had just got married at that time, so it's not good to use this matter to provoke you. Liu Yina was also surprised when she saw this. What did you say? Just got married? You mean you had already discovered it when we got married? Gu Yingying glanced at Yi Chen and Liu Yina and said, Yes, at your wedding, I noticed that the way she looked at Yi Chen was a little different. Liu Yina's hand holding the phone tightened. She is not just to Yi Chen, you can see for yourself what she has done in a while. Liu Yina is now completely convinced, and will not be soft-hearted anymore. Yi Chen said, Let's eat first and fill our stomachs before fighting. It is dinner time now, and the waiters are shuttling between the tables. From time to time, customers would call for the waiters to come over, and even Mr. Liu came over personally. Seeing this, Yi Chen couldn't help but make up his mind. I must not let Dad work so hard anymore. After we sort things out this time, I will persuade him to hire a few more waiters and ask him to come to the restaurant and enjoy life when he is free. During this time, there were also many sounds of tableware being broken and dishes being accidentally pushed over. People who run restaurants know that this is normal. But Yi Chen and the others were sitting at the edge of the window on the second floor at this time, so they knew everything that happened in the entire hall. The waiters here break cutlery once every 10 minutes, ruin a dish once every 20 minutes, and regular customers complain about the food every 30 minutes. During the whole meal, 5 sets of tableware and 3 dishes were broken, and 2 complaints were received. This doesn't even include the downstairs. There are also private rooms. Although Yi Chen already knew all this, so many things happened during the meal, and it happened right under his nose. After dinner, Yi Hui originally wanted to leave, but when he saw that his girlfriend, his elder brother Yi Chen, and his sister-in-law had not left, he naturally stopped talking. Yi Hui muttered in his heart, What's going on? Aren't you leaving after dinner? Thinking of this, he looked at Gu Yingying again. Gu Yingying also realized that Yi Hui was looking at her, and gave him a fierce look. Yi Hui was so scared that he didn't dare to look anymore, and just looked at his phone. By around 10:30, the guests had already left one after another. Yi Chen had already greeted Mr. Liu, and after get off work, he called all the employees to the lobby on the first floor. At this time, Yi Chen's phone rang. It's Mr. Liu calling. Come down, everyone is here. Father Liu's voice was a little heavy. Yi Chen said, Okay. I walked down with Liu Yina and the others. After Mr. Liu finished the call, he left early, leaving the place to Yi Chen and his daughter. Liu Yivi seemed to have noticed something, but she was confident in herself. She thought that what she did was so covert that it was impossible for her to be discovered. So I proudly stood in front of the team of employees. In fact, she had already started cursing in her heart. Liu Yina was luckier than her, more beautiful than her, and her family was richer than her. She had been a princess in everyone's eyes since she was a child, while she could only be a restaurant manager here. How could she not be angry? How could she not be jealous? Yi Chen and Liu Yina stood up. After taking a look at the employees standing together, Liu Yina suddenly looked up and saw Deng Jai standing in the crowd. Why is Deng Jai here? Gu Yingying obviously also noticed Deng Jai. Yi Chen had also met Deng Jai, and also heard about Deng Jai from Wang Lin. So he quickly held down his wife and nodded to her. Seeing this, Liu Yina and Gu Yingying did not take the next step. Deng Jai just lowered her head, stood among the staff, and said nothing. She knew her responsibilities very well. Yi Chen took a few steps forward. A large crystal chandelier in the hall was right in front of his head. The light shone down softly from the side, but Yi Chen's face was full of seriousness. I believe everyone knows who I am, right? I won't say much here. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for their hard work for Liu Fujai over the past 10 days. Yi Chen said, leaning forward slightly and making a small bow. All the employees saw this and said, "Oh, you can't do that. You're our boss's son-in-law. It's possible that you will be the owner of this restaurant in the future." Liu Yiwei also quickly said, "Brother-in-law, you don't have to do this. They took our salary, so they naturally have to work for us. Why should we bow to them and thank them? You don't have to do this." Yi Chen just glanced at her coldly. "I don't need you to teach me how to do things." Liu Yiwei was frightened by his eyes and retracted her hand. Yi Chen stood there, put his hands behind his back, turned the wedding ring on his hand, and glanced coldly at every employee present and said, "After saying thank you, I want to announce the dismissal of several employees here." "What? This son-in-law wants to be fired right away." Everyone looked at Yi Chen in shock, and even Liu Yiwei was a little worried. "What's going on?" Chapter 221, Tearing Liu Yiwei Apart. As everyone was shocked, Yi Chen slowly pointed at several employees in the front row and said, You, and you, the 4th, 7th, and 8th from the left in the back, you are all fired." When these people were named, everyone's expression changed. This uncle has only been here for a short time, and he wants to fire people right away. The person who was named in the front shouted directly, "Why are you firing me? I came here from the old store in Yuncheng with the boss. The boss trusts me the most. I have worked in Liu Fujai for almost 10 years. You come up and say you want to fire me. You are just our boss's son-in-law. What gives you the right to do that?" "That's right, we've only been to the store a few times and now you're firing us right away. Why? Let's go find Boss Liu and ask him to give us a reason. This eldest daughter of the Liu family is just a woman who can only draw. How can she cook? This son-in-law of the Liu family hasn't even graduated from college yet he dares to come to the store and boss us around. We don't accept it. Let Boss Liu come out and judge for us." "That's right. Although I've only worked here for a dozen days, I've worked hard. I didn't complain even when I had to work overtime. Now you want to fire me," and he fired me, an outsider. "Even if the boss wants to hand over the restaurant to you, we won't accept it. Let Boss Liu come out." What? These noisy people were the ones who had just been named by Yi Chen to be expelled. They were making a lot of noise, and some of them were about to jump up. Yi Chen, however, curled his lips and sneered, not giving in at all, standing there watching the show. After they finished arguing, Yi Chen waved his hand. After a while, 2 men in black suits came up from behind with a computer. Everyone was shocked. When did these 2 men get here? Just as they stopped arguing, Yi Chen said in a cold tone, "Chef Lin, right? I won't say your name. You have been working in our Liu Fujai for almost 10 years. My father-in-law trusts you very much, so he invited you from Yuncheng to be the chef here. His salary and benefits have been increased by more than double. The purpose is to make you stay in Liu Fujai with peace of mind. His old man has good intentions. But what about you? How did you treat him? Ask yourself, are you worthy of my father-in-law?" The man named Chef Lin also avoided Yi Chen's eyes when he heard Yi Chen's question. Obviously, he felt guilty. When everyone heard Yi Chen's words, they fell silent. Yi Chen sneered and continued, "Braised pigeon is one of our Liu Fujai signature dishes. It is also a must-order dish for people who come to our Liu Fujai for dinner. However, the number of people who order this dish has decreased by nearly half recently. Generally, they are ordered by new customers who come here under false names. Moreover, when I was eating just now, I heard several complaints from customers saying that the pigeon meat was too old." The man called Chef Lin's face changed after hearing this, and he started to yell, "Isn't it just that fewer people have ordered recently? What's the big deal? People are tired of this dish, so naturally fewer people are ordering it." Obviously, Chef Lin was also very dissatisfied. Yi Chen gestured to Liu Yina and the others to sit at a table nearby, so that they could watch the show properly. He turned around and sneered at the man named Chef Lin. Although Chef Lin didn't know what Yi Chen was doing, he got goosebumps all over his body when he heard Yi Chen's smile. "I've seen my father-in-law make this dish at home. The marinated pigeons must be fried in boiling hot oil first, and then put into the cooled marinade. The pigeons are heated, while the marinade is cold. In this way, the flavor of the marinade is easier to enter the pigeons, making them more flavorful. The combination of hot and cold makes the pigeon meat more tender and smooth. At the same time, because the marinade was already prepared by my father-in-law, there is naturally no problem with the marinade. Moreover, the marinade will be used later, so it is inconvenient to tamper with it. But here Yi Chen kept everyone in suspense, glanced at everyone, operated the 16-inch large screen laptop on the desk, and opened a video. It was a high-definition video of Chef Lin making braised pigeon. In the video, Chef Lin takes a furtive look into the kitchen before throwing the pigeons directly into the brine and lighting the gas. While cooking this dish, he stirred it a few times while looking at his phone. The pigeon had not been fried and was cooked for too long, so the taste was not good. Not only was the meat tough, but it was also not flavorful. At this moment, everyone in the store was shocked. Chef Lin looked at the video and his face turned pale. Where did you get this video? HMPH, do you really think that if I put the stove where the surveillance camera can't see it, I won't be able to film you? Yi Chen smiled coldly. Because a large pot of braised pigeon needs to be cooked at one time, it is usually cooked in a separate pot. So Chef Lin took advantage of this opportunity and moved the pot to a place where the surveillance camera could not see it to do this. Yi Chen snorted coldly and continued. I say if I post this video of yours online, send it to my colleagues in Xiangcheng, or let my father-in-law watch it with his colleagues in Yuncheng, do you think you can still be a chef? You can probably only be a chef in a crappy hotel, right? I guess it would be good enough if someone took you in by then. Although my Yi family doesn't know many people in Xiangcheng, my father-in-law is a well-known figure in your hometown, Yuncheng. Hearing this, Chef Lin was so frightened that his eyes widened. His legs went limp, and he sat down on the ground without saying anything. Seeing that Chef Lin, the leader, was made like this by Yi Chen, the others quickly split into two groups. One group was the onlookers like the others, and the other group was the people who had just made trouble and said they wanted to see Liu's father. At this moment, both groups of people were stunned where they were. Yi Chen also sat down, looked at these people, and continued. According to my investigation, the tableware in our restaurant is often broken. Fan Ziqiu, Huang Wanbin, you two broke more than 5 sets of tableware every day in this week. Just now, I was having a meal here, and you two broke a total of 4 sets. Chapter 222, Time to Establish Authority. Yi Chen looked at the man and woman coldly and continued. At the rate you guys are doing this, you'll have to report at least 30 damaged items a week, which means more than 100 a month. If everyone is like you, the damage rate will exceed the normal level, and you'll also steal paper towels, toilet cleaners, rags, chopsticks, etc. Then Yi Chen opened another video, in which they could be seen stealing things. They knew exactly where the surveillance cameras were in the restaurant, but no one imagined that their every move had been secretly recorded. The man and woman with shifty eyes were also stunned for a moment. And Liu Qiang, I just saw that when you were at work, you often ignored customers and left customers who wanted to order food aside. So many customers left because of this. With a service attitude like yours, should I have hired you to run my own restaurant if I had more money? Yi Chen continued. And the cashier Zio Li, do you think that every penny you collect counts? I've asked a professional to calculate it, and the difference is not a little bit. Almost every day, 2,000 to 3,000 yuan is missing, and nearly 20,000 yuan is missing in this week. If I call the police now, do you think you can get away with it? Just as he finished speaking, a little girl suddenly fell to the ground with a pale face. Didn't you say you wanted to see my father-in-law? Didn't you say you wanted an explanation? Yi Chen snorted coldly and continued. I'll just sit here and listen and watch carefully to see what you have to say. No one dared to move, because some people also do these little movements normally, but not as crazy as them. Everyone stared at Yi Chen, who was sitting on the chair. Yi Chen stood up and looked at everyone with a smile, but his eyes were so cold that people dared not look at him. Although I, Yi Chen, have not graduated from university yet, my family has been in business for generations. I have seen all these little tricks of yours since I was a child. My father-in-law said that he hopes my wife will take over this store, but my wife doesn't know how to do these things, so I will help manage it. And today, I will be the one to clean up the restaurant for my father-in-law and my wife. Today, I'm giving you a chance. As long as you pay for the stolen and broken things, shut your stinky mouths and leave, I can pretend nothing happened. But if you insist on making a big deal out of this and spreading rumors everywhere, then I will make these videos public. In addition, I want to remind you that I have investigated every one of your family information and even your ancestors. If anyone dares to spread rumors about my restaurant, I will not be polite to them. So I hope you can know what you should do and what you shouldn't do. After Yi Chen finished speaking, he looked coldly at those who were named. Although the lighting in the restaurant was very soft, making people feel very warm and cozy, the words that Yi Chen said made the people who were named feel cold all over. Liu Yina sat there looking at her husband and thought he was really handsome at this moment. Liu Yivi, who was standing aside, stared blankly at Yi Chen, who was standing in front of her. At first, she thought Yi Chen was just a rich second generation who relied on his family, but she didn't expect that he was so courageous. Those who were clamoring for an explanation just now all shut up, and Chef Lin, who had the most seniority here, was the first to react. He quickly got up from the ground, bowed to Yi Chen and Liu Yina and said, "Miss, son-in-law, I'm leaving now. I don't want my salary. Besides, I won't say anything outside." After that, Chef Lin rushed out of the restaurant. Others also said they didn't want any salary and even paid for the damage. And no one said they wanted to ask Father Liu for an explanation. After these 6 people left, Yi Chen looked at the remaining people. When the remaining people saw those who were expelled leave, they all breathed a sigh of relief immediately. However, when they saw Yi Chen looking at them, they couldn't help but stand still, fearing that Yi Chen would cause trouble for them. "Do you feel relieved?" Yi Chen continued. "Although they are gone, it doesn't mean that you are clean. I know who belongs to whom and who is the real servicer of the restaurant. I know it like a mirror in my heart." After hearing Yi Chen's words, everyone had different expressions on their faces. "I also know who those people behind the scenes are." As he said this, his eyes shifted towards Liu Yivi intentionally or unintentionally. When Liu Yivi saw Yi Chen looking at her, she was frightened and immediately looked away. "No way. He will never know it was me." Yi Chen's words rang out again. "But I hope you can know who owns Liu Fujai." Yi Chen's words were undoubtedly waking up these people. Now he was standing here and giving them a lecture. In the future, the restaurant would definitely be handed over to Yi Chen for management, so he hoped that these people could see the situation clearly. Don't stand on the wrong side. Everyone was whispering. "Okay, that's all I have to say today. Next, I want to tell you one thing. I will keep an eye on the restaurant. Although I am still in school, my father-in-law's affairs are my business. I will never sit idly by. As long as you are willing to work hard here, I can increase your salary. As long as the restaurant makes money, I promise to give you 10% of the store's profits as a reward." Hearing this, everyone looked at Yi Chen with great surprise. "But I will never allow those who are idle and want to work for me and get a high salary." At this time, Liu Yina stood up and acted like a master. While saying this, Liu Yina looked at Liu Yivi, the woman who coveted her husband. Liu Yivi was also frightened by Liu Yina's eyes and took a step back involuntarily. Yi Chen looked at his wife with great admiration. After all, there were some things that needed his wife to handle. Liu Yina and Yi Chen looked at each other and both nodded. Father Liu chose to hand this matter over to Yi Chen and Liu Yina, and of course he had his reasons. As for old employees and relatives, he couldn't just fire them for the sake of face. After all, at his point of view, he couldn't give up the face. Therefore, it is most appropriate to leave this matter to Yi Chen and others. On the one hand, it can also test how Yi Chen handles this matter, and this can also show Yi Chen's ability to do things. At the same time, it also gave Yi Chen and others an opportunity to establish their authority. Chapter 223, Driving Liu Yue away. Liu Yivi was so frightened that she stepped back repeatedly. Perhaps in the past, although the two had little interaction, they were relatives after all, and Liu Yina would still feel some pity for the cousin in front of her. However, when Liu Yina learned about what Liu Yivi had done, especially what she had done to her father, there was no need to keep any mercy on her. Liu Yina asked, "My dear cousin, my father, that is, your second uncle, let you be the manager of the restaurant. What do you think of your work since the restaurant opened for so long?" I. Liu Yivi wanted to say loudly that she did a great job, but for some reason, her mouth seemed to be filled with cement, and she couldn't utter those words. "I just don't know if this damn Yi Chen took any secret photos of me." "What, you have nothing to say, right? What about others? Do they have anything to say?" Yi Chen took over Liu Yina's words and turned to look at the employees. But everyone present was speechless for a moment, and Deng Jai was not in a position to speak up, so she just lowered her head as well. The reason why these people didn't speak was probably because they were still unsure what Yi Chen and the others were trying to do. However, Yi Chen and Liu Yina were not in a hurry and both sat down. Yi Chen was playing with the watch on his hand. Finally, someone couldn't help but stand up and said, "Manager Liu often plays games on his phone during work hours, and it is common for him to be late and leave early. He also doesn't follow the employee rules to clock in and out." After the person in front finished speaking, he stepped back, his eyes wandering between Liu Yivi, Yi Chen, and the others. "Well, is there anything else?" Yi Chen was not satisfied with this answer. After that, a middle-aged man with a deputy store manager badge on his chest stood up. This man was the deputy store manager, Li Chuk. He took a step forward and said, "Manager Liu often doesn't wear work clothes to work, but always wears ultra-short, low-cut skirts. In addition, even if she wears work clothes to work, she wears ultra-low-cut underwear underneath. I think her behavior has brought a bad influence to other female and male employees in the store. Moreover, it also causes other male customers unnecessary. Before he could finish his words, he was interrupted by Liu Yiwei's roar. Are you seeing sick? What does it have to do with you what I wear? My second uncle didn't say anything to me, so when is it your turn to comment on my clothes? That's enough. Yi Chen looked at Liu Yiwei coldly. The person who did something wrong is still right. I... Liu Yiwei was so frightened by Yi Chen's fierce words that she was speechless. With your qualifications, it's impossible for you to be the store manager, but my dad made you the store manager because you and I have the same last name, Liu. At this time, Liu Yina no longer showed any mercy. Liu Yina stood up and continued. Everyone listen to me. Although Liu Yiwei is my uncle's daughter and my cousin, she will be dealt with according to the rules for all her mistakes. From today on, she is no longer the manager of Liu Fuji. If she wants to stay here as a waitress, she can do so. If she doesn't want to, she can leave. In this matter, Liu Yina still showed mercy and only took back Liu Yiwei's position as store manager, without saying that she would kill her. Liu Yiwei was naturally dissatisfied. She didn't expect her cousin to be so direct. I'll tell my second uncle, you bully my sister. You know, over the past 10 days, she has had a good relationship with Liu Yina's father, her second uncle. Liu Yina choked back. It's no use even if you ask Grandma to come. At this time, Yi Chen said coldly, you know the good things you have done yourself, don't treat others as fools. Do you really think that what you make for me every day is some good thing? When Liu Yiwei heard this, she couldn't help but be shocked. Yi Chen knew, or just a blind guess. But did Yi Chen secretly take a photo of me? Very likely. Now, Liu Yiwei didn't dare to do it again. However, she also glared at Liu Yina and Yi Chen fiercely for her own face. You only know how to bully me. I'm waiting for you to be taken away by heaven. Liu Yiwei is really ungrateful. Yi Chen has evidence in his hands. If possible, Liu Yiwei will go to jail with just one word from Liu Yina. It's just that Liu Yina felt that everyone was a relative, so she pretended not to know about this matter, showing some mercy and not exposing this fact. Looking at Liu Yiwei's receding figure, Liu Yina's eyes were full of disappointment. She really didn't know that her cousin could become so cruel. However, their family will settle down in Xiangcheng in the future, so they just need to reduce contact with Liu Yiwei as much as possible. From beginning to end, Liu Yina only said a few words when dealing with Liu Yiwei, because she knew that only her words could convince Liu Yiwei. Yi Chen glanced at everyone, then at Deng Jai, who was standing at the back of the crowd, and said, Today's meeting ends here. I hope everyone will work hard starting tomorrow. In short, the more money the restaurant makes, the more commissions everyone will get. Thank you all for your hard work. Having said that, Yi Chen nodded to everyone and left with Liu Yina, Gu Yingying, Yi Hui, and others. Gu Yingying and Yi Hui didn't say a word from beginning to end. After all, this was just a matter about Liu Yina and Yi Chen's restaurant, and it had little to do with them. At most, if a fight broke out, they could come out and mediate or something. After Gu Yingying walked out of the restaurant, she asked Yi Chen, Yi Chen, you knew about Deng Jai's matter early on, right? Yi Chen took Liu Yina's hand, smiled, and said, Yes, all this evidence is her credit. Gu Yingying said, not quite understanding, Oh, so that's what's going on. Liu Yina explained at this time. He asked Bayadeli's people to arrange for Deng Jai to go in. At that time, I didn't know what her job was. The confidentiality was very strict. Gu Yingying nodded and said, Bayadeli, the security company is at Yi Chen's. Yi Chen replied, Of course it's not mine, I just have a little share, so when I asked someone to arrange a job for Deng Jai, I didn't expect it to be a spy job like this. Gu Yingying also laughed. It must be very enjoyable. When there is such a job, let me try it. I have to find Deng Jai to interrogate her later. Liu Yina also laughed at her. You, being a spy, you'll probably alert the enemy, right? Yi Chen felt relieved when he saw Liu Yina chatting and laughing with Gu Yingying. He was still worried that his wife would feel bad after dealing with Liu Yiwei. In fact, although Liu Yina felt bad, facing the person who wanted to break up her entire family, driving her away was already considered merciful. Chapter 224. Children and grandchildren have their own blessings. Yi Hui looked at the elder brother in front of him with only envy in his eyes. This older brother, who is not much older than me, has accumulated such a considerable fortune before graduating from college. As far as he knows now, the hotels and maternity and baby stores alone are worth over 10 billion. Now he even knows that Bayadeli also has shares. That's an international company. I really can't imagine it. He looked at his sister-in-law and then at Gu Yingying. He felt that he should work hard to make money. Like his elder brother, he couldn't always rely on his family. After the people in the restaurant saw Yi Chen and the others get in the car, they began to talk a lot. Didn't I say that the young lady is just someone who can hold a paintbrush and paint? Why does she seem so amazing? You are so ignorant. The powerful one is our son-in-law. The eldest lady just said a few words about how to deal with the cousin. Don't you understand? Could it be? Yes, it's just as you thought. Everyone has seen the majesty of our uncle, right? Even an old employee who has been in the business for more than 10 years was fired with just a few words. Why did our boss leave the store early? It was just to let our uncle establish his authority. In the future, this store will definitely be handed over to the uncle and the eldest lady. The eldest lady is just a figurehead. The real person in charge is the uncle. All right, let's see who dares to cause trouble next time. Go off work quickly and be smarter next time. At this time, Deputy Store Manager Li Chuk stepped forward and dispersed the crowd. After Deng Jai glanced at Li Chuk, she followed the crowd off work. After Yi Chen returned home, he lay on the sofa in the living room and stretched. At this time, Father Liu came out of the kitchen and said to Yi Chen with a smile, "Yi Chen, I didn't expect that you are so familiar with the production process of our braised pigeon." Father Liu, who was far away at home, had already known everything that happened in the restaurant through surveillance. Yi Chen just said modestly, "Dad, I just saw you do it at home, so remember, I asked the security company to help me collect these evidences." Liu Yina, who was sitting next to him, said, "Dad, isn't there a staff member named Deng Jai in our restaurant? She's my friend." Father Liu thought for a moment and said, "Is it Zio Jai? She does a good job in the restaurant. Zio Wei. She does whatever she asks Zio Jai to do and never complains. She is also diligent and eager to learn. I never thought you two were friends." Liu Yina said, "Yes, she came to me a few days ago to arrange a job for her. Because she has no academic qualifications, I thought of asking Yi Chen to arrange a job for her." Unexpectedly, Yi Chen's friend arranged her to work in our restaurant and helped us collect evidence. Father Liu was also a little surprised. "What? She helped you collect evidence? She works quite efficiently. I like her very much, a very hardworking girl." After thinking for a while, he asked, "After that, will you transfer her away? My store is in urgent need of people. So many people have left the store at once, and I have to recruit again." Yi Chen smiled and said, "Dad, don't worry. I won't transfer her away for the time being. However, if she doesn't want to work in the restaurant anymore, I will still listen to her and won't force Nana's friends." Father Liu nodded. "Yeah, that's true. You can't force someone to do something. Yeah, I'll talk to her tomorrow and give her a raise and promote her to lobby supervisor. She got the hang of it in just 2 days and she never slacks off. No one else can compare to her, but it's not a good idea to promote her to a higher position all at once." Liu Yina also smiled. "Dad, why are you thinking so much? Zio Jai hasn't agreed to stay yet." Father Liu also laughed and said, "Yeah, Nana is right. This time you and Yi Chen both did a good job. In fact, I also saw the problems in the store early on, but I just wanted to test you. I didn't expect that Yi Chen would get it done so quickly. Yi Chen, good job. Dad will work for a while longer, and then I will hand over the store to you to manage." After a pause, he continued, "Although Dad's store is a disservice to you, Dad has reached the age where he should enjoy his life. He just wants to stay at home and take care of his little grandson. You shouldn't refuse Dad, right?" After saying that, Father Liu looked at Yi Chen seriously, and even Liu Yina looked at Yi Chen with a smile, waiting for his answer. Facing the sudden seriousness of the two, Yi Chen was a little overwhelmed. "Dad, it's too early to talk about this. If you really want a rest, I will still help you take care of the restaurant. Dad, you can rest assured and boldly rest." Yi Chen just said that he was managing it on behalf of the company, and didn't dare to say anything more. Father Liu was also very satisfied and said, "Well, okay. When you have winter vacation, Dad will hand over the entire store to you. Then you don't have to look for an internship company. It will be suitable for your major. You can just come to Dad directly." Yi Chen couldn't help but sigh that his father-in-law really cared about him, and even took him the opportunity to do an internship. "Then we can only go for it." Yi Chen smiled and replied, "Okay, Dad." Liu Yina looked at Yi Chen, who agreed with a helpless look on his face, and she was almost laughing like crazy in her heart. "You did this voluntarily," Liu Yina said with a smile. Yi Chen nodded and said, Yes, I volunteered. Who made you my wife? My wife's affairs are my Yi Chen's affairs. It's already 10:30 at night, and the children should be asleep." Liu Yina asked, "Dad, are the babies asleep?" Father Liu said, "I just went to bed not long ago. It's a rare day for me to go home today. I quickly took a bath and played with the babies for a long time. I have to spend more time with the babies in the future." At my age, I no longer have the urge to do big things. If this family business was not inherited from my ancestors, I might really quit. Father Liu seemed to have a lot to say today and continued. I just spent some time with the baby, and I found that Dabo has loved eating since he was a child. When he grows up, it is not a bad idea to hand over Liu Fujai to Dabo. What do you think, Yi Chen? Yi Chen also smiled. Dad, why do you think so much? Children and grandchildren have their own blessings. Don't worry, Liu Fuji will definitely be passed down. Father Liu also sighed. Alas, Dad is thinking too far ahead. You are right. Children and grandchildren have their own blessings. Forget it. I don't want to think too much. I am going to sleep. I still have to go to the restaurant tomorrow. You should go to bed early too. After saying this, Mr. Liu waved his hand and went upstairs. Liu Yina looked at her father's back, and for the first time felt that her father was really old. In the past, my father, who had protected me from the storms, would never have thought of handing the restaurant over to someone else, but today, now that she is married and has children, her father actually thought about retiring. She suddenly felt that her father has really aged a lot. But no matter what, although I don't have the ability, Yi Chen does. Liu Yina looked at Yi Chen with gratitude. Husband, you are so nice. Chapter 225. The couple communicated until late at night. After Yi Chen and Liu Yina returned to their room, they both took a shower and came out. Liu Yina had to be busy expressing milk, then go and see the baby before going to sleep. After Liu Yina came back, Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina and said, Wife, why don't we stop breastfeeding? Although breast milk is good for the baby, if I see you setting the alarm in the middle of the night to express milk, I think you are really tired. Your husband doesn't want you to be so tired, and now this milk powder has a complete nutritional value. Yi Chen added one more sentence at the end. Husband really doesn't want to see you working so hard. You still have to express milk when you get to school. When husband sees you like this, he also thinks you are working very hard, okay? Liu Yina also hugged Yi Chen. Husband, I know you are worried about me, but I still want to feed the children for 6 months. I will persist for more than a month. I will listen to you and slowly stop. After all, she didn't want to lose the 36.7-degree connection so quickly. In fact, babies can also drink milk powder, but Liu Yina really doesn't want to. Yi Chen couldn't do anything about her. He just didn't want to see his wife working so hard, thinking about milking even when she was at school or sleeping. He felt heartbroken when he saw that Liu Yina hadn't had a full night's sleep in the past few months. Liu Yina suddenly said, Husband, do you think there is something wrong with the deputy store manager surnamed Li today? Yi Chen smiled. Oh, you found it too. Liu Yina hummed softly. Yes, you are a man and you should understand that if a man doesn't even like to look at beautiful women, then he must have other purposes. My cousin is not bad looking either, and she studies dancing, and her figure is first rate. Even though she is a mature and stable person, she would not bring up these clothing issues that even my father has not asked about. I wonder if there is some conspiracy here. Liu Yina's words were right. Even a grown man like Yi Chen never paid attention to Liu Yivi's problem every time he went to a restaurant. Obviously, Yi Chen also noticed the difference in Li Chuk, so Yi Chen kept it in mind. Liu Yina said, How about letting my dad open his business as well? If he really wants to cause trouble in the store, then the restaurant will be in big trouble. Yi Chen smiled and said, No, keep it for now. Don't worry, I will ask the people from Bayadeli Security Company to investigate him tomorrow and keep a close eye on him to see who is behind him. Besides, we still have your friend Deng Jai there, but I don't know if she will continue to stay there. If we don't find out who's behind him, we won't know who's stabbing us in the back in the future. At this point, Yi Chen paused as if he remembered something. Didn't your friend Deng Jai's father say he would bring her to Xiangcheng to see a doctor? We can help her. If she doesn't want to accept it for free, we can pay her. We can let her work in my restaurant. You see, I think so highly of her. Liu Yina nodded. Yes, my father rarely praises others, but today he praised them twice. From this, it seems that he really likes Xiao Jai, but whether to stay or go and whether to accept our help, we have to ask her first. Yi Chen, that's true. Then you can ask her what she thinks when you have time. When I see Dad tomorrow morning, I will talk to him about the surname Li. Liu Yina picked up the phone beside her and said, Well, okay, I'll check the group first to see if they are chatting about anything. I turned on my phone and found that Gu Yingying and Deng Jai were chatting enthusiastically. So Liu Yina also opened the group chat to read the messages, then started chatting with them again, and then asked what Yi Chen had just asked. After chatting with the sisters, it was almost 12:30. Liu Yina glanced at Yi Chen, who was looking at his phone, and asked, What are you looking at? Yi Chen put away his phone and said, I'm watching a video. How about we open a video account or something? Liu Yina smiled. What do you want to do? Yi Chen said, I didn't do anything, I just felt that in this information age, it seems a bit awkward to not have an account. Liu Yina, then open it. Don't let me find out that you are looking at or paying attention to beautiful women. Otherwise, you will be responsible for kneeling down to the durian in the future. Yi Chen also quickly surrendered. Wife, spare me. How dare I look at other beauties? I can't get enough of my own wife. Liu Yina said, stop coaxing me here. After saying that, the two of them started fighting. Liu Yina surrendered for the first time. Hubby, I surrender, I surrender. I have something to tell you now, please stop. After hearing this, Yi Chen immediately let go of his dirty hand. Honey, what do you want to tell me? It's the middle of the night. After Yi Chen finished speaking, he looked at Liu Yina with a very different look. Liu Yina rushed over again. What are you thinking about? Yi Chen looked at Liu Yina, who was rushing towards him. Wife, it's hard for me not to think crookedly with your posture. Liu Yina smiled and said, it's like this. Didn't I just tell my sister that she would accept our help and is willing to stay in my dad's restaurant to help out? We can ask her to do anything, even without salary. I also told her that she doesn't need to worry about the money. It won't be too late to pay her back when she makes a lot of money. She will still get paid. Let's get better first. Yi Chen listened to Liu Yina's words and nodded. Well, my wife is right, and my pharmaceutical factory has also opened and is ready to go public. If she uses the drugs from our pharmaceutical factory, it should help her reduce some of the burden. Liu Yina nodded. But you don't have to produce these medicines for her. Her father's illness is mainly for rehabilitation, so I will let her come to Xiangcheng for a detailed examination first. Yi Chen also nodded. Well, wife, just make the arrangements. If you don't have enough money, tell your husband. Liu Yina shook her head. Hubby, you forgot you returned the black card to me. How could it not be enough? Yi Chen, that's enough. I will do my best to help her. As for the hospital, as long as she brings her father here, I will arrange a doctor for her as soon as possible. Liu Yina lay in Yi Chen's arms and said, Yeah, husband, I'm tired. Let's go to sleep. Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina. Okay, let's go to sleep. I'm really tired today. I have to go to school tomorrow. Let's rest quickly. Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina, and they both calmed down. Yi Chen thought to himself that the conditions for triggering tasks in the system have become more and more stringent recently, so he has to rely on himself to make money. As for Deng Jai's father and Liu Mingxuan's illness, Yi Chen helped and cured them whenever he could. Although I have 5 elixirs in my hand, this is a life-saving medicine. Deng Jai's father was also able to recover and walk again through rehabilitation. As for little Liu Mingxuan, he will definitely be able to find a matching partner if he spends a lot of money. Yi Chen also had his own selfish motives. He wanted to leave these elixirs to his family, just in case. Chapter 226, Beware of the Villain's Hidden Arrows. Yi Chen got up early around 6 o'clock the next day. Although he had only slept for more than 5 hours since last night, he didn't know if it was because of the genetic pills he took, but he didn't feel tired at all and was very energetic. At this time, Father Liu was also getting ready to go out. It's like this for all restaurant owners, leaving early and coming back late. From purchasing goods to closing the restaurant, Father Liu is always there. In fact, there is no need for Mr. Liu to do this. It is definitely better to hand these things over to reliable people than to do everything himself. Father Liu was surprised to see Yi Chen getting up so early. Yi Chen, why did you get up so early today? Is there something wrong? Yi Chen looked at Father Liu and said, Dad, there is something I want to tell you. It's about Li Chuk, the deputy manager of your store. Father Liu was stunned by Yi Chen's words. Him, what happened? Yi Chen continued, There is something wrong with him. Father Liu frowned. What's wrong with him? I feel like he's a very reliable person. He's considerate and knows how to read people's faces. I see he gets along well with customers and employees. Even though he hasn't worked here for a month, I've already promoted him to the position of deputy store manager. What's wrong with him? Yi Chen slowly said, Dad, don't worry. This is mainly because Nana and I discussed it last night. I think he is so perfect that he is a little scary. So today I will let Bayadeli's people keep an eye on him and investigate his background. If there is really someone behind him, then we have to find out who is behind him, right? We can't let him get away with it. Mr. Liu also listened very carefully and naturally understood the seriousness of the problem. After all, he had seen things like his peers wanting to plant spies here before, and all these years of running the restaurant were not in vain. Father Liu nodded heavily. Well, Dad will be careful with this person, but the investigation is still left to you. Yi Chen also nodded and said, Dad, don't worry, I will have someone keep an eye on him and will not let him do anything detrimental to the restaurant, but you have to be careful against him. After Mr. Liu made the promise, he left the house. Yi Chen entered the kitchen and saw Aunt Zhang cooking nutritious porridge for everyone, so he walked over and said, Aunt Zhang, what are we having today? Aunt Zhang turned around and said, I made some oatmeal porridge to cleanse everyone's stomachs. This morning I went to the bun shop over there to buy some buns. Usually there are a lot of people buying there and there's a long line, but I got up early on purpose and there weren't many people. You can try it. The buns there are very fragrant. Aunt Zhang said as she stirred the porridge. Yi Chen nodded, okay. Yi Chen picked up the unopened bag of buns on the dining table, took out one, and began to eat it slowly. At this time, Aunt Zhang also came over with a soy milk maker and poured a bowl of soy milk for Yi Chen. Look, the soy milk is ready. This soy milk machine is pretty easy to use. It's ready in about 20 minutes. Go slowly, the soy milk machine is still a little hot after it's just finished making it. Yi Chen asked, Aunt Zhang, have you eaten? Sit down and eat together. Aunt Zhang said, no, you eat first. The porridge in my pot is just right. I need to stir it more, otherwise it will become mushy later. Yi Chen had no choice but to give up. Then I'll eat first, you remember to eat. Aunt Zhang smiled and said, I know. After our Chen got a wife, he became more caring. Yi Chen laughed. Aunt, how can you say that? I'm good to you even if I don't have a wife. Aunt Zhang also started laughing. At this time, Mother Yi also came downstairs. Hey, our Yi Chen got up so early today. What are you talking about? Yi Chen was also helpless. Mom, I have something to discuss with my father-in-law. Aunt Zhang also laughed. Just now I was saying that Yi Chen would be more caring after he got a wife. Look, now he has learned to discuss everything with others. Yi Chen has really grown up. Mother Yi nodded. Yes, he has started a family and a career. Our Chen has really grown up. There are some things that we don't need to worry about for him. He can solve them by himself. It's time for us as parents and elders to let go. Aunt Zhang also smiled and said, Sister, what are you talking about? As the saying goes, raising a child is a long-lasting worry. How can I let go of it? Yi Chen quickly swallowed the bun in his mouth and said, Mom, I'll go see if Nana is awake. You guys chat. Yi Chen also seized the opportunity and left quickly. Otherwise, these two women would have put on a show here. Although what Mother Yi and Aunt Zhang did was for his own good, he understood the reason. Sometimes he just didn't want to be nagged, so he just ran away. Mother Yi looked at Yi Chen's running back and couldn't help but laugh. This kid, he forgot his mother after getting married. Run so fast, Mom just wanted to say a few more words to you. Yi Chen listened to what Yi's mother said and didn't say anything, but he didn't go back to the room, because when he walked to the door, the baby woke up. Yi Chen walked into the baby's room and found that Liu Yina was already there holding the baby. Yi Chen hurried over. Wife, you got up so early too? You don't have classes today, why don't you sleep a little longer? Liu Yina, I just heard the baby's voice, so I came to see the child. Have you told Dad? Yi Chen nodded. I told you, don't worry about it. Liu Yina, that's good. Yi Chen took out his cell phone and sent a message to one of his classmates, saying that he would stay at home with his wife and children this morning, and then go to school with his wife in the afternoon. When Liu Yina saw his action, she knew what he was trying to do. Are you taking leave again? Yi Chen laughed. Anyway, those classes in the morning are not important courses, and I have already learned them before, so I haven't forgotten the knowledge, so I simply don't go. Liu Yina shook her head. But you have already asked for leave several times since the start of the school year. Aren't you afraid that the teacher will not let you graduate? Before Yi Chen could speak, Liu Yina muttered to herself. However, if you are a senior, as long as you go back to take the graduation exam and pass it, you should be able to graduate, so it's not a big problem. Yi Chen also wanted to laugh. Don't worry, your husband will definitely graduate. After all, he has a photographic memory, so isn't it easy for him to graduate? Chapter 227, Wife's Birthday. The days passed one by one. Chenny Pharmaceutical, invested by Yi Chen, is also ready to go public, and the research and development team led by Chen Zugui has developed healthcare drugs that enhance immunity, and all procedures have been completed. The entire healthcare product is divided into 3 major series: infants, adults, and the elderly. Everything is ready, just waiting for the company to go public and pre-sell. Let's fire the first shot first. At this time, advertisements for health products appeared on all major online platforms. The advertisements claimed that they were 100% effective and that refunds would be given if ineffective, which instantly attracted people's attention. September 11th, the day that Chenny Pharmaceutical went public, was also Liu Yina's birthday. Yi Chen gave Liu Yina a very big surprise. On her birthday, Liu Yina also took a day off and stayed at home, planning to have a meal with her family during the day and then spend time alone with Yi Chen in the evening. Logically speaking, today is a good day for the pharmaceutical company to go public, and as the sole shareholder of the pharmaceutical company, Yi Chen must be in charge of the overall situation. But Yi Chen said to Chen Zugui, "I'll leave all the matters concerning the pharmaceutical factory to you. I won't take care of the rest. But after the listing, our company seems to be short of a manager position. You know that you are mainly responsible for R&D and managing the pharmaceutical factory, and you are not good at marketing. So I will find a good candidate during this period to join our pharmaceutical factory." Chen Zugui also quickly replied, "Yes, Mr. Yi, it is because of the problem of marketing that the pharmaceutical factory cannot continue to operate. I will trouble you with this matter, Mr. Yi." Yi Chen said, "Well, in these 2 days, you should make preparations and put the advertisements in place." Chen Zugui said, "Okay, Mr. Yi Chen." After hanging up the phone with Chen Zugui, Yi Chen also took care of the baby with his wife. Liu Yina was holding Dabao and playing with him. When she saw Yi Chen come in, she called him over. "Hubby, look at Dabao, he seems to have gained some weight." Yi Chen also hurried over and wanted to pick up Dabao. Liu Yina interrupted him. "Don't hold him, let him lie down for a while and see if he can crawl." Yi Chen stretched out his hand and stroked Dabao's face. "Wife, the baby is only 4 months old, how could he crawl?" Aunt Zhang and the others also laughed. "Yes, if you want to crawl, you will need at least 8 months. Now just practice lifting your head and rolling over." Liu Yina laughed and said, "So that's how it is. I thought it would turn over and crawl soon." Because it was Liu Yina's first time being a mother, she had no experience. So the aunts put Xiao Aguai and Erbao down on the bed and let the 3 siblings play together by paddling their hands and feet like turtles. Because Yi Chen and his family were at home today, Mother Yi and Mother Liu naturally knew that it was Liu Yina's birthday today, so they set out for the mall in the morning. Mother Liu was thinking of buying some supplements for Liu Yina and stewing some supplements to nourish her body. Mother Yi told Mother Liu that she would pay for all the expenses today. Mother Liu and Mother Yi have become best friends, so naturally she wouldn't be polite in the face of Mother Yi's generosity. So when they arrived at the mall, they bought some clothes for their grandson. The 2 of them talked and laughed, just like a pair of elderly sisters going shopping together. When they arrived at a jewelry shop, Mother Yi took Mother Liu's hand and walked in. Naturally, Mother Liu also knew what Mother Yi wanted to do, so she tried to refuse, but was dragged in by Mother Yi. "Mother Yi, my dear relatives, please take a look at which one is suitable. Thank you for educating Nana so well over the years. You have worked so hard." Mother Liu smiled and said, "You must spend time educating your own daughter. You are not bad, Yi Chen is a good child." Mother Yi said, "Why don't you pick one quickly? Otherwise, I will have to pick one for you." Mother Liu waved her hands quickly. "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do this." Mother Yi said seriously, "Today is Nana's birthday, and it is also your Good Friday. Thank you for your hard work in laws." Mother Liu's eyes were also moist. "Sure enough, women still understand women best. It's really worth it to have such a good relative like you." The 2 women knew and appreciated each other, and stayed in the jewelry shop for nearly an hour before coming out with bags full of stuff. When I returned home at noon, Dad Yi had already bought a cake, and Dad Liu had also cooked Liu Yina's favorite dishes. The dining table was completely filled with food. Liu Yina felt very warm in her heart when she saw that everyone attached so much importance to her birthday. Liu Yina said to everyone with great gratitude, "Thank you both dads for your hard work. Thank you both moms. I like the gifts you picked very much. But here the person I should thank the most is my mother. Especially after I became a mother myself, I realized how hard it is to be a mother. Thank you, Mom, for bringing me into this beautiful world. Mom, you have worked hard." Liu Yina walked over and hugged Mother Liu. Mother Liu's eyes moistened and she nodded continuously. Okay, my daughter will also be caring now." Father Liu said at the side, "Everyone cheer up, I made some new dishes today. Come and try them and give me some suggestions." Father Liu walked to Mother Liu's side and took out a rose from behind. "Wife, this is a flower for you." Mother Liu suddenly laughed out loud. "Oh, an old couple, why are you sending flowers? It's so embarrassing." Although she said that, her hands were still honest as she took the flowers from Mr. Liu's hand. Father Liu also smiled innocently. "I learned this from my son-in-law." Yi Chen and Mr. Liu looked at each other and both laughed. Looking at such a happy family, Mr. and Mrs. Yi also started to smile happily. The most important thing in life is to be happy. Live in the present and care about your family. The three little babies were also carried down by the aunties. They seemed to know that today was their mother's birthday and were very excited. The cart was also put aside and held by several aunts, who danced and stretched out their hands to Liu Yina, Yi Chen, and others. The three babies cannot be held upright yet, and they can only be burped after they finish feeding. Father Liu was also very happy. You three little ones have really good noses. Did you smell the food Grandpa cooked? It smells good, right? But you can't eat it now, just watch first. Mother Liu held the rose and smiled as she supported Father Liu with her elbow. In the future, when the baby learns to eat, the food you cook cannot be as heavy as it is now. It should be lighter. Children cannot eat so much salt. The family finished the meal happily. Chapter 228, As Long as My Wife Likes It. By the evening, Yi Chen had already told his family that he would spend the night alone with Liu Yina. So when it was time for dinner, Yi Chen had already brought Liu Yina out to eat. Yi Chen had already booked the best hotel in Xiangcheng, the Royal City 7-star hotel. We booked the largest presidential suite there and had a romantic time there tonight. At this time, Yi Chen and Liu Yina had already arrived at the rooftop restaurant here. Yi Chen has also booked the entire restaurant. The waiters in the restaurant were also looking forward to meeting the heroine. Everyone was standing at the door of the restaurant waiting, and from time to time they looked towards the elevator. Yi Chen and Liu Yina took the elevator to the restaurant. As soon as they got off the elevator, they saw a dozen waiters on duty waiting at the restaurant entrance. When the waiters saw someone coming, everyone stood up straight instantly. After seeing Yi Chen and the other two coming, they said in unison, "Welcome." Everyone stared at Liu Yina. At this time, Liu Yina was wearing a tight pink long skirt, a Chanel-style shawl on her shoulders, and a pair of high heels on her feet. This outfit makes Liu Yina look thin and tall. She has become the most eye-catching focus of the whole audience. It seems that Yi Chen's nutritious meals are effective. They can help reduce fat without affecting health. Now Liu Yina's weight is almost back to the double digits she used to be. Yi Chen is very satisfied with Liu Yina's current height and weight. She looks thin when she is dressed and has muscles when she is undressed. This is her best condition. Liu Yina felt a little uncomfortable seeing so many people staring at her. And when she saw that she and Yi Chen were the only ones in the place, she finally realized that Yi Chen had sealed up the place. After Liu Yina sat down, she asked, "Honey, why is it so expensive to book the whole place?" Yi Chen smiled and said, "Wife, today is the first birthday you celebrate with me, so of course it should be grand to show my sincerity to you." Liu Yina said happily, "Husband, thank you." Yi Chen continued, "Wife, let's eat first. I have asked someone to deliver the gifts to the hotel room. After we finish eating, we will open the gifts." When Liu Yina heard the words, "hotel room," her face turned red instantly. He said softly, "Well, okay." The waiters around were also whispering, "Oh my God, this woman is so beautiful. She's so tall, and unlike those skinny beauties, she's voluptuous. You pervert, be careful if your man hears it or he'll beat you to death. You can't even admire it. Do you think this woman is your lover or your wife?" I heard from the manager that when he called to make the reservation, he said he wanted to celebrate his wife's birthday. Of course it was my wife. Oh my God, such a woman is so lucky. Her husband is so rich. She won't have to worry about money for the rest of her life. No way, do you think you'll be rich if you book an entire restaurant? Do you know how much it costs to book this restaurant? Over $1 million. The entire kitchen has to run for the two of them, and I heard from the manager that the couple also got the largest presidential suite here. Do you know how much it costs for one night? Can anyone afford it with more than $200,000? I saw it. The pigeon egg on the woman's hand is something we can never afford in our lifetime. And looking at the reflection of the light from my experience of seeing big scenes, this is a real diamond. Hearing this, the waiters present side. In this group of people, everyone gets a salary of more than 10,000 or less than 20,000 yuan a month. More than 1 million yuan is their salary for more than 10 years, let alone a pigeon egg. But others took it out in one go. This is the difference between people. No, it should be the difference between rich people and poor people. That's enough, stop chatting here and get to work. If you offend the sponsor, you might lose your job. At this time, the foreman came out and stopped the waiters. After Yi Chen and Liu Yina finished their meal, they went straight back to their hotel room. In the hotel room, Yi Chen had already prepared everything. From the entrance, there are roses scattered on both sides and some aromatherapy lamps all the way to the living room of the room. When Liu Yina opened the door and saw this situation, she couldn't help but scream softly, "Ah, husband." As he said this, He covered his mouth and jumped for joy. Yi Chen smiled and motioned Liu Yina to continue walking into the living room. In the living room, candles stretched out to the center while music played. As a result, some of the furniture in the living room was moved away, and a heart shape was created with small candles in the center of the living room. There are also some balloons and ribbons hanging on both sides of the wall. Although Yi Chen felt that hanging balloons was a bit vulgar, wasn't it something that people would hang during celebrations? It doesn't matter if it's vulgar, the key is that my wife likes it. Liu Yina walked while holding Yi Chen's hand and covering her mouth with the other hand, her face full of excitement. Honey, you haven't even been so romantic when you proposed to me. Don't get excited, honey. There will be something more exciting soon, Yi Chen said with a smile. The two walked to the center of the heart and hugged and kissed each other. Wife, follow me. Yi Chen took Liu Yina to another room. When the door opened, there was a mountain of gift boxes piled high inside. Seeing this situation, Liu Yina's heart was even more excited, and she quickly hugged her husband tightly. Honey, are these gifts all for me? Yi Chen also hugged Liu Yina tightly. These are all for you, my dear wife. Your husband has given you all the birthday gifts over the past 20 years at once. I will be with you on every birthday in the future. Liu Yina said with emotion, Husband, you are so nice. After taking a breath, he said, I can't wait to open my presents now. After saying that, Liu Yina jumped into the pile of gifts like a child and started opening the gifts. Wow, this little frog is so cute. I can give it to my children to play with when they grow up. Having said that, he put the gift aside. Another present to unwrap. Oh my God, what is this? Minnie Lindy, this bag can hold so much. Birkin Kelly, this pink bag is so hard to find, and it's been sold for nearly $1 million. Ying Ying was trying to buy this bag before. How did you buy it? Wow, this lipstick, I love the color. Yi Chen looked at Liu Yina, who was opening her presents like a child, and he was happy too. As long as my wife likes it. Chapter 229, Helping Father-in-Law Manage the Restaurant. The listing of Chenyi Pharmaceutical was very successful, and Chen Zugui did not dare to call Yi Chen to inform him of the good news until noon the next day. The next step is to launch the health products developed by Chen Zugui's team. From the name of the health products to the outer packaging, Yi Chen was involved. Yi Chen personally named this product Little Divine Treasure. First, find an advertising company to tailor an advertisement for the product, as well as packaging design and production. All these have to be found. So Yi Chen handed the matter over to Wang Lin, the captain of the Bayadeli security team, to investigate, find out the most famous and best service advertising company in Xiangcheng, and then let the company's people contact them. Yi Chen also found Liu Ming, who lived with Yi Hui in his house, and asked him to do a marketing internship. Because he had interned in other companies for a year or so when he was in college, he is quite familiar with this area. Yi Chen was quite confident in Liu Ming. After all, they had been good brothers for several years, and he had also used his discerning people with a discerning eye skill to vet him, so he could be trusted. Liu Ming was also shocked after receiving Yi Chen's call. Brother Yi Chen, you are really my savior. Okay, no problem, even if it's a small position, I'm willing to work with you, Brother Yi Chen. Should I call you Mr. Yi from now on? Yi Chen smiled and said, That's not necessary. If we meet, you should just be normal. The reason why Yi Chen asked Liu Ming to come and help him was not because he did not trust Chen Zugui. Yi Chen had already thought about this before. The main reason was that Chen Zugui was in charge of research and development, and there might be some things in the factory that he could not take care of. That was why Yi Chen asked another trustworthy person to take care of it. Liu Ming had good work and learning abilities, so he could let Chen Zugui teach Liu Ming first, and then he would have an extra assistant to help him in the future. This was the first time Liu Ming knew about his brother opening a pharmaceutical factory. Even Yi Hui was unaware of it. Yi Chen is also too low-key. Since Tianyi Pharmaceutical received financing and changed its name and went public, it has received a lot of attention, and many research and development companies have come to it, hoping to cooperate. Chen Zugui also selected several reliable pharmaceutical companies to do processing on his behalf based on his own experience. Yi Chen doesn't care about these. What Yi Chen values most is his health products. He is sure that there is no problem with his own medicine, so he must be cautious in advertising cooperation. The advantage of finding a good advertising company lies in the integration of channel resources. A good brand planning and brand design company can not only provide consumers with a very good design plan, but more importantly, it can enable the company's products to be truly implemented in the market and bring more shocking influence to the company's brand. Therefore, not only the planning of this healthcare product, but the entire company is also integrated into the advertising to create a brand influence for Cheney Pharmaceutical and occupy more market share. So Yi Chen quickly found a Han's film and television advertising planning company and asked Liu Ming to contact it. After the advertising company designed a plan, Yi Chen would come and take a look. In the days to come, Yi Chen will also go to Liu's father's restaurant to help look after the place. There was no class that afternoon, so Yi Chen took Liu Yina home early. After interacting with the children, Yi Chen ate earlier than everyone else. I am going to help Liu's father today. Before leaving, Liu's mother handed Yi Chen an insulated lunch box. And he instructed, Yi Chen, let Dad eat on time, otherwise his stomach can't take it. This is the meal made at home. Tell him not to cook the chef's meal. He has been getting angry recently. There's also some heat-clearing soup I made in there. You have to help me make sure he finishes it. Don't let him run off to do other things while he's eating halfway through. Yi Chen immediately patted his chest and said, Mom, don't worry, I'm here. I'll help Dad look after the restaurant. I've been there so many times and I'm familiar with the process. Seeing Yi Chen's confidence, Mother Liu let him go. Yi Chen took Liu's mother's loving lunch box, drove away as soon as he stepped on the accelerator. When I arrived at Liu Fuji, I saw Deng Jai at the door. After greeting her, I walked into the restaurant. At this time, there were not many people in the restaurant. Probably because of the last incident, business has been affected quite a bit. Even though these people were fired and some new people were trained, the business has always been slow. Father Liu was also a little worried. Yi Chen has been watching everything these days and has been thinking of ways to help Liu's father. In the past few days, we have tried to offer discount packages, banquet packages, group purchases, etc., but we still can't bring back traffic. The restaurant's business is not doing well at all. Even if we offer the biggest discount like today and use price cuts to attract customers, the customers we attract are not high-quality customers. However, Mr. Liu's behavior of lowering prices is undoubtedly too eager for quick success. The menus we have received recently all have extremely low profits or almost no profits. This has caused some chefs to feel quite resentful. Many people in the kitchen were complaining, and naturally the head chef heard it. He had no choice but to tell the store manager Li Chuk about it. Several waiters in the restaurant were replaced, but these chefs were very important people in a restaurant, so they were not replaced. Many of them were old employees brought by Father Liu in Yuncheng. After all, for a restaurant, apart from service, the most important thing is taste. So even if these chefs had made some requests before, Mr. Liu tried his best to meet them. Seeing this, the store manager Li Chuk had no choice but to tell Liu's father everything. Father Liu also sighed. Forget it, you go down to work first. Father Liu looked at Yi Chen, who was sitting in front of him, and said calmly, Yi Chen, you just heard it. What should we do about this matter? Yi Chen was also very concerned about the chef's resentment. The most important thing now is to restore the restaurant's business. Otherwise, if things continue like this, the popularity of the entire restaurant will be ruined. Yi Chen suddenly said seriously, Dad, I think we can restore the discounted dishes now, and we can do group buying, but we have to stop reducing the prices for now. I've thought of a way. I don't know if it will work. Chapter 230, Eliminating the Cancer Again. If this continues, the restaurant will really go bankrupt. Therefore, we must first win back the lost customers, and at the same time develop new dishes. Yi Chen also thought about this problem. After all, this was the hard work of his father-in-law and the inheritance of the Liu family. He certainly couldn't let it go bankrupt like this. Therefore, Yi Chen also discussed it with Liu's father. Dad, we still have to stabilize these chefs first, but if they really don't want to work here anymore, we can only ask them to leave. Liu's father also said, Yes, I have thought about your question because their hearts are no longer here. It may be that after coming here, they saw the development of the big city, so they thought about changing jobs. If they can't stay, then they can only give up. Yes, you can't do two things at once. If you really don't have this intention, then you can only give up. Father Liu said, But I can't find the right person to help here right now. It's hard to find a good chef. Yi Chen took a look at the kitchen, then turned to Liu Dad and said, Let's see how many people want to stay here first. Focus on training the remaining people and leave the rest to me. Father Liu, okay. Yi Chen, then this matter will still be left to you to handle. Yi Chen walked towards the kitchen, having already thought of the next plan in his mind. Father Liu looked at Yi Chen's back and sighed in his heart. It's true that the new wave pushes the old wave. Now in the new century, young people's thinking is still in the forefront. The old ways seem to be no longer suitable. It depends on how Yi Chen handles it. Yi Chen walked into the kitchen, and the people in the kitchen looked at him. Because the business was not very good, there were not many people working in the kitchen. Some of them were sitting there playing with their phones, chatting and complaining, and they didn't look like they were at work at all. Seeing Yi Chen come in, everyone stopped and stood up quickly. Perhaps because of the previous incident, there was a hint of fear in everyone's eyes when they looked at Yi Chen. Yi Chen looked at these people and narrowed his eyes. Then he said, "Those who are not working don't need to come to work from tomorrow. Those who are working, listen to me. If you want to continue to stay here, stay here. If you don't want to stay, you don't have to come tomorrow." Although the knowing people with wisdom function can test a person's temperament, it cannot determine what is in other people's minds. But given the current situation, people who are willing to work naturally want to stay. This also made those who were not working explode. "What do you mean? Are you going to fire us?" "Yeah, what are you going to do now? You paid a lot of money to ask us to come to Xiancheng, and now you want to kick us away." "Humph, I don't want to do this job even if it's given to me. Looking at this restaurant, I don't think it will last long. I'm leaving if I want to. Who's afraid of who?" Some people want to leave, while others want to stay here and get a salary. After all, the popular restaurants here are so busy that you can get a fixed salary just by standing or sitting for a day. Although there are extra commissions here, it is still quite easy. The chefs who were cooking were also stunned by Yi Chen's move. Seeing a few people who were not convinced picking up their weapons and trying to make a fuss, Yi Chen grabbed the male chef in front. Towards the door, Yi Chen shouted, "Send some security guards over." The people present were shocked when they saw Yi Chen bend down and catch a big shovel. Looking at this, the others thought that Yi Chen did have some basic skills in martial arts, so the people behind him didn't dare to mess around. Those who are stirring up trouble and wanting to smash and destroy things simply want to cause damage here. Deng Jai also ran over to watch the fun and immediately went to ask for security when she saw what was happening. After the security guard came in, he pulled out those who wanted to cause trouble. As it stands, the chefs in the kitchen can still maintain the restaurant's business. Because the head chef had been asked to leave, the people here were a little disorganized in their work. Yi Chen said, "From now on, I will be here to guide you in cooking." Standing in the kitchen, Yi Chen was adept at directing the cooking because he had cooking skills. And just here, Yi Chen's phone rang. It was Wang Lin, the captain of the Bayadeli security team, who called. "Hey, Mr. Yi Chen, we found out that the person behind Li Chuk is Gyu Su from Hanlin Restaurant." "Is it him? Does Mr. Yi Chen know him?" "He is now the general manager of Hanlin Restaurant, so I suspect it is competition among peers." Yi Chen did not say that he knew her, but just said lightly, "Okay, I know." Now that the mastermind behind Li Chuk has been found out, this person surnamed Li cannot be kept. Yi Chen was also very sure that those who were causing trouble in the kitchen were the work of Li Chuk, including the chef who took the lead. They have just arrived here and are unfamiliar with the place. If someone hadn't tempted them with high salaries, how could they be willing to leave this place where they have worked for more than 10 years and where the pay is good? However, these people are greedy for profit and forget their principles. It is better to drive them away now. There is no point in keeping them. Yi Chen decided that after he went out, he would fire Li Chuk as well. He could no longer keep this person. Throughout the restaurant, the waiters were busy serving the dishes to the guests. Because a lot of time had just been wasted, the guests were complaining about the wait. And when they saw the dishes they ordered being served, their expressions relaxed. "This dish smells good. I've eaten here before. Now that I see such a big discount, I'm willing to give it a try." The discounts now are really huge. If it's like this for a long time, then it's still okay. Forget it, how can it always be this low? If it really is this low, I'm going to doubt whether this restaurant is opened by a charity organization, and its purpose is to rescue poor people like us. Yes, this time the group purchase. The meal for 3 people is only 88 yuan, with 4 dishes and 1 soup. Moreover, a single meal is only 39, and a double meal is only 59. Such a favorable discount naturally attracted many people to come and try the food. These new customers naturally came with the intention of trying the food, and they originally thought that the dishes for such a discounted meal would be just sloppy. However, what they saw before them was a revelation to everyone. Chapter 231, Proposing Suggestions to Liu's Father. Just when everyone thought that the discounted meals were just to please them, the dishes in front of them really amazed them. Among these people, there are naturally some old customers who have already come to the restaurant to try the food. "Oh my God, this portion is so huge. It looks even bigger than the picture on the coupon." Oh my God, don't move your chopsticks yet. I have to collect 4 dishes and a soup, take a photo and post it on WeChat moments before you can eat. Some customers who were already dining there couldn't help, but give thumbs up when they ate the dishes that were served later. I really wonder if this restaurant has a new chef. I really feel that these dishes are definitely not made by the same person. You guys think so too? We do too. I just heard some quarrel in the kitchen, so I suspect someone has really been replaced. Because the security guards pulled the man out through the back door just now, the guests in the front hall did not notice these things. At this time, someone deliberately pulled a waiter over and asked seriously, "Did your restaurant change the chef? Why does the food taste different?" The restaurant waiter also knew what had just happened in the kitchen, but he didn't expect to be asked about it by the customers. The waiter also wanted to protect the reputation of the restaurant, so he said to the guests, "Because the group purchase meal is so popular, the kitchen is overwhelmed, so our boss's son-in-law is here to cook it himself." No wonder, is your boss's son-in-law a chef somewhere else? He's really good at cooking. Yes, the dishes are much more delicious than those made by the chef just now. The waiter also smiled and said, "Thank you for your support. Let's enjoy the food slowly." After the people at the scene finished the meal, they continued to order food on the spot and package it for their families to try. At the same time, I posted it on WeChat Moments, Douyin, and other online platforms. For a while, it became a small hit in the local area. On the online platform, it was quickly recommended to others, and those who posted on the circle also replied to others saying that the dishes here are delicious and worth a try. This also attracted a lot of people to the restaurant. Even though it is already 9 o'clock and it is long past dinner time, we were still recommended to eat here. Yi Chen was busy in the kitchen for a long time before he finished. He had given all the instructions that needed to be given. These chefs were not stupid. With such a good foundation, they naturally became proficient after Yi Chen's guidance. At this time, Yi Chen came back and found Father Liu, who was smiling from ear to ear. "Dad, actually our restaurant's reputation got a little better when we got married, but it's declined a bit after what happened a few days ago. You organized a group purchase this time, and I just saw a lot of people recommending our restaurant on the online platform." Father Liu also said, "Yes, I obviously felt that there were a lot more orders just now and a lot of people came. Thank you, Yi Chen." Yi Chen also waved his hand. "Dad's business is my business, no need to thank me. But I think these unprofitable group purchases can only be done during big promotions to give back to customers. This will not work in the long run." After taking a look at the entire first-floor lobby, he continued, "I think we need to find a way to improve the overall quality of the restaurant, like a Michelin restaurant, and stop relying on low prices to attract customers. Father Liu, our restaurant has always been a civilian restaurant, and this time we really have no choice but to do it. But I am willing to listen to your opinion on what you just said." Yi Chen also said, "The civilian route can be taken, that is, ordinary people can afford it, but what I want to talk about is the overall pattern. It makes people who come here feel that it is an honor to eat here, and it satisfies people's vanity nowadays. It's like Michelin restaurants. They are expensive, but the food is good. But every time people dine there, they will post on social media to show off. What we want to do, although not as successful as Michelin restaurants, at least make people feel that inviting people to dine here is prestigious." Father Liu thought for a moment and said, "You're right. After all, this is also a big city, and it's a little different from our county town. With the influence of our Liu Fujai in Yuncheng, it's also okay. Just like you said just now, eating at Liu Fujai also makes people in Yuncheng feel respectable. So I agree." After hearing this, Yi Chen continued, "Yes, first of all, the environment here is good and the service is okay. Now the only thing left is to improve the taste of the dishes. Now several chefs have left, including the head chef, so the top priority is to improve this aspect first and then package the restaurant well." Yi Chen continued, "Dad, you see, I have to go to school every day now and I can't take care of the restaurant's affairs, but I will still do my best to help you so you don't have to worry. Just let the advertising company handle this. Advertising planning and the like are more professional when it comes to advertising companies, but you still have to follow up on it yourself. Also, I'm thinking of launching a new nutritional meal in our store, specifically for senior white-collar workers and special groups." Yi Chen took out the nutritious meal prepared for Liu Yina and showed it to Liu's father. "Dad, look, this is the nutritious fat-reducing meal I prepared for Nana. After 2 months, Nana has been able to lose more than 10 pounds through a healthy and balanced diet. So I think that in addition to fat-reducing meals, We should add some fat-increasing and muscle-building meals to make modern people eat healthier and more delicious. Father Liu took the paper from Yi Chen's hand. There were many combinations and cooking methods on it. Because it was a fat-reducing meal, the cooking method was very simple, and many of the ingredients were mixed. The calories in the ingredients were also marked. Yi Chen pointed to the calories of the ingredients above and said, "The maximum daily calories for an adult male is no more than 1,800 calories, while for a female it is 1,400 calories, so it can be calculated when matching." Father Liu nodded and looked at Yi Chen seriously. "So, you have already thought of this whole plan?" Yi Chen smiled and said, "Dad, this is what Nana reminded me of. So when I saw the situation in the store today, I wanted to tell you about this idea. I don't know what you think." Father Liu also smiled at Yi Chen and said, "Young people's ideas are really important nowadays. Our ideas are no longer suitable. You and Nana have really good ideas, so Dad supports you. This matter is up to you. Do whatever you want. I will support you unconditionally. No matter what the result is, you don't have to worry." Yi Chen smiled and said, "Thank you, Dad." At this time, Yi Chen felt relieved. After discussing this issue with Liu's father, he now faced another problem. Chapter 232, Reorganizing Liu Fujai. Yi Chen was discussing the future development direction of the restaurant with Mr. Liu. And now, he raised another question. "Dad, you know that I fired those people for you, but there are still a few other chefs in the kitchen, and they are all doing their job well. I think they should be rewarded, and rewards and punishments should be clearly distinguished. This shows that the rules and regulations of a restaurant are perfect." Father Liu also nodded. "You are right. I have thought about this problem, and they are the most hardworking among these people, and they work the hardest, so don't worry. I will not treat them unfairly. After all, some of them have been working with me for more than 10 years, and I brought them with me to start a business in Zhangcheng this time. They have also trained many apprentices for me, so they deserve a reward." Yi Chen continued, "I think we should hire a few more chefs. After all, we can't be without a chef here. Although some of them have been chefs for more than 10 years, when I came in just now, they were still used to listening to other people's orders. Let alone the novice chefs, some of them still need my guidance, which proves that they have not added enough value to themselves in the past 10 years, so we still need fresh blood now. After all, there are less than 10 chefs working in this kitchen of several hundred square meters. How can this be possible?" Father Liu nodded. "Yi Chen, I think you are really a natural leader. After you came here for a few days, you actually pointed out so many shortcomings of my restaurant. Well, not bad. It is really my wisest decision to let you manage the restaurant in the future." Yi Chen said, "Dad, don't you see what I am studying? I am studying management." There was no modesty in his words. He simply admitted it generously. Father Liu and Yi Chen laughed at each other. After Yi Chen finished laughing, he continued, "I'll ask my friends if there are any suitable chefs to come over here to help, and then recruit a few novice chefs, and then let them train the new chefs." The reason for hiring a new chef was that Yi Chen felt that the new chef had greater plasticity. Father Liu handed everything over to Yi Chen on the spot and said jokingly, "It seems that I can retire early." Then he picked up the soup cooked by Mother Liu and took a sip. "This way, Nana's mother won't have to worry about me not eating on time every day." As he drank the soup made by his beloved wife, his eyes were full of expectation. Yi Chen said, "Wait until my winter vacation, then I will help you manage the restaurant, and you can enjoy yourself, Dad." Yi Chen naturally didn't want his father-in-law to work so hard anymore. If he could find a better candidate to manage the restaurant, he would definitely let his father-in-law retire early. Yi Chen suddenly said seriously, "Dad, the person behind Manager Li has been found." Father Liu also looked serious and asked, "Really?" Yi Chen also came over and whispered, "Really? It was Gyu Su from Hanlin Restaurant who had his eyes on the store at number 23, Balan Street, Dongping District, just like you. He is the boss's eldest son, and we met at that time." "Father Liu, why would he place people here? It's just one store of mine. It can't possibly pose any threat to their local area, right?" Yi Chen just smiled. "That's not necessarily true. After all, our restaurant is also very strong. After we got married, if it weren't for the Liu Yue incident, it would definitely not have turned out like this." Yi Chen naturally told him about Liu Yivi instructing employees to steal money, smash dishes, and steal things. Otherwise, he would have thought that this was just the personal behavior of the employees. When Mr. Liu heard this, his face darkened. "I haven't offended them by coming here, and I haven't competed with them for the store, so why are they targeting me?" At the same time, he was also very angry. This Li guy is eating from two families. Yi Chen quickly said, Since we already know the person behind him, we can't keep this person any longer. Father Liu also said, "You can't keep him. I made a mistake in choosing him." Yi Chen comforted him. "He approached you with a purpose, and it's not your fault. If he wasn't on that side, he would also be a very good store manager, so don't think too much." Yi Chen didn't dare tell Liu's father that what happened in the kitchen was also related to him. Father Liu nodded, called a waiter over, and said, "Where is Manager Li? Ask Manager Li to come over." And the other side, the store manager Li Chuk was standing not far from the gate of Liu Fuji and answering the phone. His tone was very respectful. And on the other end of the phone, on a beauty bed, a pair of slender hands are massaging a man. The man held the phone in his right hand and yelled into it, "How do you do business? You can't even handle this one store." Li Chuk's tone was still very respectful without even a hint of temper. "Manager Guo, this is not my fault. After the incident with the surname Liu, I realized that there are cameras everywhere in this restaurant. Now I don't even dare to be in the store when I'm on the phone. I really can't find any good opportunity to take action." The man was furious. "What do you mean by no chance? Almost a month has passed, look what you have done." Li Chuk held the phone in his hand and covered it with his other hand and said softly, "I just had someone mess up Liu Fuji's kitchen. It was halfway done, but before it really got going, the boss's son-in-law, a man named Yi Chen, got involved. Originally, I wanted to stop all work in the kitchen, but I didn't expect that the other people in Liu Fuji would not cooperate with me. But it doesn't matter. As long as I can persuade the chef, the strike will be over this time. But I didn't expect that Yi Chen would fire those people before I could implement it." The man also shouted into the phone, "Stop making excuses for yourself here. You can't cause trouble, so what about other things?" The man was already so angry that his head was burning with anger. Li Chuk also said, "I don't dare to come here openly. If I get caught, I will be finished." The man pouted and shouted to the massage technician, "Get out and lock the door." "Yes, Mr. Guo." The technician left with some grievance. After seeing the technician leave, Guo Su said into the phone, "I'm telling you I'll give you another month. I want Liu Fuji to disappear. Do you hear me?" Li Chuk could only whisper, "Yes, Manager Guo." Li Chuk is also feeling aggrieved. Chapter 233, Expelling Li Chuk. Li Chuk is also very frustrated. "I could only make the best excuse for myself. Boss Guo, I really can't do it. Many people don't listen to me. If we make trouble together today, maybe we can take down Liu Fuji, but their old employees won't listen. It would be great if we could really get rid of all the chefs. Besides, there are surveillance cameras everywhere in the kitchen now, and we don't know which of these waiters are undercover agents. If we want to touch the dishes, that's impossible. I really can't think of any other way." It's been a month. A month has passed since he started paying attention to Liu Fuji. Since its opening, their business has indeed been affected a lot. Although there is only one Liu Fuji in Hong Kong, Liu Fuji is bigger than any of his restaurants, and its decoration is more luxurious. So he couldn't bear it anymore. Not long after the restaurant opened, he had already arranged to let his henchman Li Chuk infiltrate Liu Fuji, with the intention of bringing Liu Fuji down. Last time, because of Liu Yivi's incident, they were at loggerheads. Li Chuk pretended to be on Liu Fuji's side and exposed Liu Yivi, which earned him special attention from Liu Fuji's boss and led to his promotion to store manager. Then came today's incident. But nothing can be accomplished. Now when he heard Li Chuk say such things again, he was so angry that he gnashed his teeth. He would never allow Liu Fuji to grow stronger and threaten Hanlin Restaurant's position in Xiangcheng. "Anyway, I don't care. If you can't do it, then don't even think about getting into the food industry in Xiangcheng." Li Chuk held the hung-up phone, his eyes full of helplessness. At this moment, an employee of Liu Fuji came trotting over. "Manager Li, the boss is calling you." Li Chuk finally came to his senses and replied, "Oh, okay, I understand." After putting away his phone, Li Chuk walked back. He thought to himself, could it be because of what happened in the kitchen just now? It must be. Smiling, he walked towards Father Liu and Yi Chen and said respectfully, "Boss, I heard you were looking for me." After drinking the last sip of soup, Mr. Liu wiped his mouth with a tissue beside him. Then he said, "Yes, I was looking for you. Where did you go just now?" Li Chuk smiled and said, "A friend just called me, so I went out to listen." Father Liu looked at him and said, "What friend is so important? Why is he chatting with you during work hours? Do you know what happened in the kitchen just now? You just left the store and answered the phone." Li Chuk realized the seriousness of the problem and said quickly, "Sorry, boss, it's my negligence." Aye. That's right. As a store manager, he actually talked on the phone during working hours and ignored the matters in the store. It was indeed his dereliction of duty, and he really couldn't find any excuse to justify himself. Father Liu continued, "If Yi Chen hadn't been here just now, I'm afraid that my store would have been turned against by the people in the kitchen." Li Chuk was terrified. "I'm so sorry, boss, I was wrong." Father Liu waved his hands and said, "Forget it. My shop can't accommodate a big Buddha like you. You don't need to come tomorrow." Li Chuk was now anxious. After all, he couldn't go back to Hanlin Restaurant, and now even Liu Fuji was going to fire him. Where could he go in the future? "Boss, you can't fire me. I've never been late or left early for work, and I work very hard. I went out today because I had something else to do, so I took a phone call. I really didn't mean to ignore the store's business. Please let me go this time." Father Liu also said in a deep tone, "Manager Li, I don't deny that you are conscientious and responsible in your work, but people can't eat at two tables. I'll stop here." Mr. Liu didn't want to make it too clear. After all, this was someone he once trusted, so he naturally didn't want to make things too embarrassing. Li Chuk was stunned by what Liu's father said. He shook his head helplessly and sighed, "Boss, Yi Chen also spoke at this time. "I think you understand what my father means. Don't be too pushy. My father doesn't want to make it too embarrassing. Just consider it as your dereliction of duty. If we investigate if your business is known to your peers, your future will be ruined. You should leave now." Since Mr. Liu is kind and wants to let him go, Yi Chen will naturally oblige Mr. Liu and will not pursue the matter any further. Fortunately, Li Chuk did not cause any trouble. Otherwise, Yi Chen would not let him go. After hearing this, Li Chuk knew he was in the wrong and walked away in despair. It would be much more difficult for him, a middle-aged, unemployed man, to find a job in Xiangcheng that pays higher than this one. But he has children and a wife to support at home. He really regrets it. Why would you help Gyu Su do such an immoral thing just for that little bit of money? But there is no medicine for regret. Once you have done it, you have to bear the consequences yourself. Father Liu looked at Li Chuk's back as he left, turned around and said to Yi Chen with emotion, "Yi Chen, I'll leave the plan just now to you. Dad is about to retire." He also felt tired. He had seen through all the intrigues in the business world and was tired of it. Yi Chen also noticed the fatigue in Liu's father's eyes. After all, he was his wife's biological father, so he naturally felt sorry for him, and promised, "Dad, don't worry, I will definitely get this done." What Yi Chen can do now is to help Liu's father manage the restaurant so that he can enjoy the happiness of family. At this moment, the system rang. "Congratulations to the host for triggering the system task. Help my father-in-law eliminate the cancer and reward the host with world champion fighting skills." Fighting? What the hell? Why? When Yi Chen thought of this, he was completely puzzled. But when I thought about the fact that I knew this fighting skill and could use it for self-defense, it seemed like a good idea. So Yi Chen used it directly. I returned home around 10 o'clock in the evening and told Liu Yina what happened that day. Liu Yina also said, "Is the competition so fierce now? My dad only has one restaurant, why is it still so enviable?" Yi Chen said, "Maybe it's because of the location and the fact that the dishes at Liu Fuji are really good. We went to Hanlin Restaurant to try it out, and it was just so-so. So we have to innovate and have our own special features so that we can last for a long time." Liu Yina lay in Yi Chen's arms and looked up at Yi Chen. "Have you told Dad about the issues we discussed before?" Yi Chen nodded. "Yes, wife, your suggestion is still the best, and with my creativity, I told my father about our plan. Dad said that he fully supports us, so we have to work hard. Dad said that he wants to hand over Liu Fuji to me for management by the end of this year." Liu Yina felt distressed. "Husband, won't you be very busy in the future? You won't have time to accompany me." Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina and whispered, "Don't worry, when Liu Fuji is on track, I will definitely not be in the store often. Besides, you can come to the store with me, wife." Liu Yina put her face on Yi Chen's chest. "But I can't bear to leave both my husband and my child. What should I do?" When she thought of this, Liu Yina became worried. She wanted to stay with Yi Chen more, but she couldn't bear to leave her child. It was really a dilemma. Yi Chen comforted him. "I will definitely focus on my family and try to spend more time with my wife and children." Liu Yina smiled and said, "Hubby, I really want to say thank you to you. You've worked so hard, husband." It was already very good that Yi Chen was willing to manage Liu Fuji. Liu Yina felt that she shouldn't make so many demands. Yi Chen smiled and said, "Between you and me, if you want to thank me, then." Chapter 234, This is my wife. The next day, Yi Chen woke up early, and the sun was already shining outside. Yi Chen got up and stood in front of the French window, smelling the fragrance of the flowers planted by Mother Liu in the yard outside. He felt full of strength. Looking at Liu Yina, who was sleeping soundly on the bed, he already remembered that Liu Yina got up again last night to express milk. Now Liu Yina takes care of the child in the morning and before going to bed at night, and sometimes when she doesn't have classes, she will come back to take care of the child and feed him. The child can basically sleep through the night. It's only a little after 7 o'clock now, and the children should be waking up soon. This also means that Liu Yina has to get up too. After brushing his teeth and washing his face, Yi Chen went to look for the baby. As expected, the babies have all gotten up to brush their tongues and wash their faces. Seeing that Liu Yina had no classes today, Yi Chen did not wake her up. He heated up the breast milk that Liu Yina had squeezed out last night and fed it directly to the baby. Fortunately, the baby is mixed fed, so if Liu Yina wants to stop breastfeeding, she can just stop feeding. Yi Chen naturally knew that it would be very difficult to wean a baby who was exclusively breastfed. If it is mixed feeding, it is also beneficial to the baby and the mother. It's just that some babies don't accept bottle feeding so easily, and they can only choose between bottle and breast milk. So Yi Chen is very fortunate that his babies are willing to accept mixed feeding. Let your wife suffer less. However, Liu Yina heard the noise and came over. Since becoming a mother, Liu Yina has been very sensitive to the baby's movements. Once there is any movement, she will come over immediately. Seeing Liu Yina coming in, Yi Chen also smiled and said, "Wife, you are here. Seeing that you were sleeping so soundly, I didn't go over to disturb you." "Liu Yina, I just woke up too, let me feed the baby." She took Dabo from Yi Chen's arms and started feeding him while carrying Yi Chen on her back. Yi Chen also closed the door for her tacitly. When I walked back to my room, I was thinking, my baby is now more than 4 months old. When he is 6 months old, I should try to add complementary food. Time flies so fast, and the child grows so fast. It feels like he has grown up in the blink of an eye. Only after I had my own children did I understand how hard it is to be a parent. What's more, he has hired several aunts now. It would be so hard if there were no aunts to help. I have to get up every 2 or 3 hours to feed the baby and change diapers. If the baby cries at night, I have to hold him in my arms and comfort him while he sleeps. Everything that happened before is still vivid in my mind. Looking at my child now, he can sleep through the night. It has been really difficult along the way. Yi Chen was already planning in his mind at this time. He would make a complimentary food list for the baby, changing it up every day to save the aunties trouble. During the time when Liu Yina was breastfeeding, Yi Chen had already looked up relevant information and prepared complimentary food packages for the babies. However, he had not had time to write down the methods, so he could only write them down when he had time. Because I have already made an appointment with Liu Ming this afternoon, and the advertisement for the pharmaceutical factory has been prepared, I will go there today to finalize the plan. Originally, Yi Chen didn't plan to go, but because he still had the order from Liu Fuji to hand over to the person in charge, he went. When driving back to school, Yi Chen said to Liu Yina, "Wife, I have to go to the advertising company to discuss something this afternoon. You don't have classes in the afternoon. Do you want to go with me?" Liu Yina nodded and said, "Sure, I have nothing to do anyway, so let's go together." The two agreed to go to Han's Film and Television Advertising Planning Company at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to look at the advertising plan for the pharmaceutical company. It was afternoon. Liu Ming had been waiting for Yi Chen and the others at the entrance of Han's Film and Television Advertising Planning Company early in the morning. Seeing Yi Chen and Liu Yina getting out of the car, Liu Ming walked over immediately. "Brother, you are here. Hello, sister-in-law." Liu Yina was also a little shy and replied, "Hello." Liu Ming was also very flattering. "Brother, you are so lucky to marry our school beauty." Yi Chen waved his hand. "Brother, there is no need to say more between you and me. Everyone knows that I, Yi Chen, am so blessed, right? Let's go up quickly. After confirming the plan, I have to go shopping with my wife later." Liu Ming also smiled and said, "I really envy you too, let's go." After saying that, Liu Ming also walked in front for the first time, leading the way for Yi Chen and the others. I took the elevator to the 3rd floor of Han's Film and Television Advertising Planning Company. When I arrived at the elevator door, the head of the advertising company was already waiting. When he saw Yi Chen and others, he hurried to greet them. "Hello, Mr. Yi Chen, Mr. Liu. I'm the director in charge of your company this time. My surname is Li. It's a pleasure to meet you." Director Li immediately stepped forward and shook hands with Yi Chen and Liu Ming respectively. At this time, the assistant behind Director Li also bowed slightly and said, "Hello, Mr. Yi Chen." Yi Chen held his hand. "Director Li, hello." "Mr. Yi, please follow me over here," Director Li said as he led everyone. On the way, we passed an open office with more than 30 employees sitting inside. And the more than 30 employees naturally saw Yi Chen and his group. Especially when they saw Liu Yina behind Yi Chen, everyone started whispering, "Oh my God, do you have to be a goddess to be a secretary these days? Yeah, that girl is prettier than a celebrity. If I had that kind of looks, I'd rather be a celebrity and make money faster. I don't want to follow someone else around as a secretary. Don't you know, the man who came today is the CEO of Chenyi Pharmaceutical, which just went public. The CEO of that pharmaceutical company invested tens of billions to set up a listed company. Do you think the money is too little for someone who can come up with tens of billions?" After Yi Chen tried the genetic pill, even his hearing became much more sensitive, and he took what the staff said to heart. So Yi Chen took Liu Yina's hand and said, "Wife, you decide the advertising plan this time. After all, you studied fine arts, and you should be more sensitive to colors than me." Liu Yina was also stunned when Yi Chen held her hand like this. Seeing Yi Chen blinking continuously, she seemed to realize something, so she replied immediately, "Okay, hubby." Now even Director Li, who was walking in front, was stunned. At first, he also thought that Liu Yina was the secretary brought by Yi Chen. Unexpectedly, she is actually Mr. Yi Chen's queen. Too careless, Yi Chen's series of actions immediately shut up those who were gossiping just now. Chapter 235 met a best friend. Yi Chen looked at the reactions of the crowd and felt very proud. He held Liu Yina's hand tightly. At this point, the direction of the staff's discussion took a 360-degree turn. "Oh my God, this is the boss's wife. Wow, the diamond on that woman's hand is so big. She really is worthy of being the queen. I really envy a woman who is so beautiful and can marry a rich man. Look at this young boss, he's already married. What a shame. Even if they haven't gotten married yet, it's not your turn, right? Look, his wife is 100 times prettier than you. If I had money, I would definitely wait until I was tired of playing around before I gave up. It doesn't matter whether I get married or not. I can have children, but no one should want my money. Damn scumbag." What? Yi Chen was completely speechless after listening to these people's words. Even though he is rich now, he has never thought of betraying Liu Yina. Director Li opened the door of the conference room and invited Yi Chen, Liu Yina, and the other two in. "Mr. Yi, Mrs. Yi, I'm so sorry for what happened just now. I didn't know this lady was Mr. Yi's wife." Yi Chen said, "I didn't tell you either, so you don't have to apologize to me. Mr. Yi is so generous. Please come in." Director Li invited the three people into the conference room. The assistant pulled out seats for the three of them. Director Li did not waste any time and started to present the plan directly. Although Liu Yina doesn't understand advertising, this time the advertisement was made for a pharmaceutical company using cartoon characters. So Liu Yina also pointed out some shortcomings of the illustrations. Apart from making only one minor change, everything else is fine. The revision plan was quickly finalized with Director Li. About an hour later, the assistant opened the door of the conference room and Director Li invited the three people out. "Boss Yi, don't worry. We will definitely revise the plan and send it to you for your review today." Yi Chen nodded. When the three of them were walking in the staff corridor, they were suddenly interrupted by a voice. "Nana Yi Chen Liu Ming, why are you here?" Judging from the voice, it was Gu Yingying. Hearing this, Liu Yina quickly turned around and said, "Yingying, why are you here? Why haven't I heard that you came here to work? Didn't you say before that you were going to work for your father's friend?" Gu Yingying stepped forward and took Liu Yina's hand, her face flushed. "Because my dad's friend's place is close to where I live, but it's still quite far from Yi Hui's place, so I found a job for myself." Liu Yina was also very surprised. "You and Yi Hui?" Gu Yingying interrupted quickly. "Let's talk later. By the way, what are you doing here?" Yi Chen said, "We are here to confirm the advertising plan and... Oh, by the way, my father-in-law's restaurant also wants to find an advertising company to design it. I have already discussed some details with Director Li. How long have you been working here?" Liu Ming stood aside and didn't dare to say anything. He knew about Yi Hui and Gu Yingying. When he received Yi Chen's call, he immediately asked Chen Zugui to move into the dormitory and move out of Yi Hui's house. But when he saw Gu Yingying, he still felt uneasy. "I just feel like I'm getting in the way of others." Gu Yingying replied, "I've only been here for a few days and I'm still getting familiar with the place. But I used to work in this field, so it shouldn't be a problem." While speaking, his eyes glanced at his colleagues who were also staring at him. Yi Chen decided immediately. Director Li, the restaurant advertisement that I just talked to you about should be handed over to this employee under you, and forget about the pharmaceutical factory advertisement. Director Li knew that Yi Chen had already appointed someone to be responsible for advertising, so he dared not disagree. Okay, Mr. Yi Chen. Gu Yingying was also very grateful to Yi Chen for allowing her to take on cases as soon as she entered the company. She immediately thanked Yi Chen. Yi Chen, thank you. Yi Chen also waved his hand. Yi Chen pulled Liu Yina and said, "We'll have to walk around here for a while so we won't disturb you at work." Gu Yingying also let go of Liu Yina's hand. Okay, then you guys can take your time shopping. How about having dinner together tonight? Yi Hui and I are both here. Liu Yina immediately said, Okay, ask Yi Hui to come along, I still have something to interrogate him about. Gu Yingying blushed and said, What's there to ask? Just go shopping. Liu Yina also laughed. It's rare that you can blush. The two women continued talking there for several minutes, while the big man waited patiently on the side. Liu Yina glanced at Director Li, then at Yi Chen and Liu Ming and said, I'm leaving first. Let's talk tonight. Gu Yingying said, Okay, see you tonight. Director Li then sent Yi Chen and the other two out. When they got downstairs, Liu Ming tactfully said he wanted to go back to the pharmaceutical factory and left first. The car was parked downstairs of Han's Film and Television Advertising Planning Company, and Yi Chen brought Liu Yina to the area to stroll around. Yi Chen and Liu Yina had never been here before, so Yi Chen had decided to bring Liu Yina here for shopping from the beginning. It has been a long time since the two of them went out for a good stroll together. Moreover, it is almost autumn now, and the new styles of the season have already been released, so he thought of taking his wife out to buy new clothes, and also showing his parents and babies around to see if there are any nice ones, and buying them all together. The babies are growing very fast. A few days ago, when their parents took them for a physical examination, they also measured their height. The first 3 babies grew very fast. The eldest baby, who was able to eat and sleep well, had already reached 70 cm when he was more than 3 months old. When the parents went to take their babies for a physical examination yesterday, it turned out that the eldest baby had only grown 1.5 cm in this month. I asked the doctor, and he said that some babies' first 3 follicles will grow rapidly, but it is normal for the follicles to grow more than 1.5 cm. As for weight gain, it is normal to be over 2 catties, so I don't pay too much attention to it. Xiaoguigui and Erbao's height and weight are also within the standard range. But it's time to buy autumn clothes for the little babies. Although Mother Yi and Mother Liu had bought some autumn clothes before, there were only a dozen or so pieces, which was far from enough. Yi Chen and Liu Yina were walking around. This place was not a shopping mall but a pedestrian street, so the stores were not too big. After all, if it was really a roadside store, the rent would be quite expensive if you really rented it. The pedestrian street here is also very busy. Although it is only the afternoon, there are many brand-name stores here, so many celebrities come here to shop. There are also some stools placed by some beverage shops in the middle of the road, which makes it convenient for pedestrians to rest here. Chapter 236, My Wife Was Misunderstood. Liu Yina took Yi Chen to a brand that she liked very much. In the past, Liu Yina and Gu Yingying often bought clothes of this brand. Because the clothes of this brand are very affordable and not too expensive, the average t-shirt costs only a few hundred yuan, which is very close to the people. When coming here, Liu Yina also bought a few sets of autumn clothes. She took a few photos of Gu Yingying and asked Gu Yingying to choose. The two of them were thinking of wearing best friend outfits. Because this store is for girls, there are no men's clothing. Yi Chen looked at the cheap brand of clothes in Liu Yina's hand and said with a smile, Wife, are you saving money for me? Liu Yina didn't think so. She said, Actually, I think it's good to wear something comfortable. If you wear it out normally, there's really no need to buy such expensive clothes, right? Yi Chen nodded quickly. Yes, 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 my wife is right. After buying clothes, Liu Yina took Yi Chen to the next store. This store is an international brand. The sales staff here all wear relatively uniform clothing. When he saw Liu Yina coming in, he immediately stepped forward to greet her. Hello, sir and madam, how can I help you? While speaking, he looked up and down at Yi Chen and Liu Yina. Liu Yina was also going to school, so she only wore cheap clothes, while Yi Chen was wearing more high-end branded clothes. Not counting the t-shirt on Yi Chen, the pair of shoes on his feet are also limited edition. Those salesmen also had sharp eyes and recognized it immediately. Liu Yina knew nothing about this and smiled and said to the saleswoman, "Excuse me, where is the men's clothing? I want to buy the new men's clothing for autumn." The saleswoman smiled politely and said, "Okay, please follow me." The female salesperson took Yi Chen and Liu Yina to the new men's clothing area. Because it is an international brand, there are relatively few people coming into the store. However, the other saleswomen in the store were discussing in a low voice. "Did you see that? The woman wasn't wearing any branded goods, but the man was wearing a famous brand. It seems that man is also a rich man. Do you dare to come into our store without money? In my opinion, this woman must be attracted by this man's money." "Not necessarily. Look at how handsome that man is. Even if I don't have money, I'm willing to support him." "That woman isn't bad, okay? She's so pretty. Do you think she'd find someone who's worse than her and lives off her? She'll definitely find a rich man to support her, right? But didn't you see that woman holding clothes from the cheap store next door? She's still looking at men's clothes. Is she pretending to be sensible in front of a man, saying that it's not the man's money that she's after, and that the things he uses are all cheap? Oh my God, is this a scheming woman? In this way, men will think that this woman is a good woman, and then they will be taken care of by her. That's possible. I saw that woman wearing a big diamond ring on her hand. You can't buy it without hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sure enough, cast a long line to catch a big fish. You all should learn from me and pretend. When Yi Chen heard these words, he was speechless. Ever since my body was changed by the genetic pill, my ears and other aspects have been further strengthened. Just like now, although I am more than 10 meters away, it is relatively quiet here and I can actually hear what they said. So Yi Chen heard everything they said clearly during the whole process of looking at the clothes. The most outrageous thing is that those people actually said that their wives were mistresses. However, because these people were discussing behind his back and didn't say it to his face, and he was also relatively far away from them, it was not easy for him to get angry. The saleswoman in front of them introduced Yi Chen and Liu Yina indifferently. "This is the men's clothing area. Take a look and see which one is suitable. I will give it to you to try." After saying that, he just stood there without introducing himself to Yi Chen and the others. In fact, the saleswoman already looked down on him in her heart. This man is really stingy. He bought such cheap clothes for his girlfriend. The cost of those shopping bags combined is not as expensive as this belt. Don't other salespeople think the same way? This man is no good. If he doesn't have much money, he shouldn't come to our store to buy clothes. He actually bought such cheap clothes for women but bought such expensive clothes for himself. It's obvious that this man is just playing around, right? However, Liu Yina knew nothing about this. She didn't think there was anything wrong with the female salesperson. On the contrary, she liked this kind of salesperson who didn't keep talking and didn't even give her a chance to see. Liu Yina held a few pieces of clothing and asked the saleswoman, "Excuse me, do you have a larger size?" The female salesperson glanced at Yi Chen and replied, "Yes, please wait a moment." After taking out the sizes that Liu Yina needed, Liu Yina asked Yi Chen to try all the clothes. "Honey, I think these are all good and these colors are also suitable for you. You should try them. These clothes are indeed nice, and they are not the same black clothes in Yi Chen's wardrobe." Yi Chen glanced at the clothes in Liu Yina's hand and nodded. "Yes, wife." When the saleswoman heard this, her expression changed. "Are they husband and wife?" But nowadays, young people like to call each other husband and wife when they are in love. Thinking of this, the female salesperson didn't think much about it. Yi Chen tried on all the clothes that Liu Yina liked one by one. Liu Yina was very satisfied with her aesthetic taste and Yi Chen's good figure. "Honey, I think these are all good. What do you think?" Liu Yina asked. Yi Chen also agreed. "I think it's good too." Seeing that Yi Chen also agreed with her, Liu Yina said generously, "I want all these clothes." The female salesperson was also shocked when she saw this. In her eyes, nothing is important except performance. Just the sets that Liu Yina liked are worth at least hundreds of thousands. A commission of more than 100,000 yuan would be at least 2,000 or 3,000. Without thinking, he just picked up the clothes and walked towards the front desk. Chapter 237. People's words are fearful. When the saleswoman saw that the two men were interested in buying, she smiled at them. The two clerks at the cashier counter quickly asked the saleswoman who came over with the clothes, "Is it the man who paid, or the woman?" The female salesperson glanced at Yi Chen and the other man who were still looking at clothes and said, "I don't know either. I'd better pack them first. These clothes are also worth hundreds of thousands." "Cashier, we were just guessing that the woman had hooked up with a rich man. The man obviously didn't take the woman seriously. When he came here, he didn't even think of buying clothes for the woman, but bought clothes from a cheap brand next door. He's really stingy. The saleswoman probably spoke a few words for Yi Chen and his friends because they wanted to buy something. What are you talking about here? Why do you care what others buy? Stop talking and pack up quickly. Then he put the clothes on the counter, and the cashier shut up. In fact, this situation is very common. Some men bring women here reluctantly and they play with their mobile phones the whole time, but the women don't care. As long as the men pay, it's fine. To them, these men are just like bank ATMs used to pay. However, some things are something that both parties are willing to do. Yi Chen naturally heard all of this, but he saw that his wife had no intention of buying women's clothing here, but was looking at clothes for him. However, when he saw these women discussing their wives here, he instantly felt a little dissatisfied. Yi Chen said to Liu Yina, "Wife, don't read it, just buy these." Liu Yina said, "Oh, okay then." Liu Yina just thought that Yi Chen didn't like the clothes here, so she followed him to the cashier counter. Yi Chen asked, "Is it installed?" The saleswoman said, "It has been through the machine and you can pay for it. There is one more item that will be packed." The cashier glanced at Yi Chen, then at Liu Yina and asked, "Hello, after the discount, the total is 182,300 yuan. Liu Yina took out her black card and said, "Swipe the card." A special reminder here is that Yi Chen had already asked the system to change the name of the card to Liu Yina's. When all the shop assistants looked at the black card in Liu Yina's hand, their eyes widened. "I didn't expect that. This woman who they laughed at for buying cheap clothes actually has a black card. You know, they are old employees here, so they naturally know what a black card is. It would cost at least hundreds of millions to get a bank black card." The cashier took the black card from Liu Yina with an incredulous look on his face and swiped 182,300 yuan on the card machine. After Liu Yina entered the password, the transaction was completed. Beep beep. When the cashier took the black card from Parallel Bank in his hand, he couldn't help but be shocked. "This is the black card of Parallel Bank. How much does this cost?" The cashier was shocked and handed the card back to Liu Yina with trembling hands. Yi Chen couldn't help but feel happy when he saw the cashier's expression. "Let you underestimate my wife. You see, my wife is super rich." The cashier didn't dare to say anything more now. He quickly handed the packed clothes on the counter to Yi Chen and Liu Yina with both hands. "Mr. and Miss, these are the clothes you bought. Welcome to visit us next time." Yi Chen took the shopping bag, took Liu Yina's hand, looked at the store opposite the gate and said, "Wife, I think the women's clothing over there is good. Let's go over there and take a look." Liu Yina nodded and smiled. "Okay, so you like the women's clothing there, so you want to leave." After watching Liu Yina and Yi Chen walk away, the shop assistants quickly gathered together to discuss. "Oh my God, guess what I just saw? That woman's black card is from a parallel bank, and the minimum balance on that card is over 1 billion. Oh my God, when will I be able to earn even a fraction of what others earn? So this man is a gigolo. Is that woman the rich one? You can't judge a person by his appearance. That woman has so much money, but she buys such cheap brands and wears cheap clothes. But didn't you just hear the man calling the woman his wife? They might be a couple. So what if they are married? Can't the man look at the woman's money?" At this time, the store manager came out from the warehouse and asked, "What are you doing? The company has a rule that you are not allowed to talk about customers behind their backs. Don't you want to do this job anymore?" Yi Chen naturally heard what these people said and turned to look at them. They were also frightened by Yi Chen's eyes and lowered their heads. After all, if they said someone was a gigolo behind their back, they would definitely feel guilty. "But it's so far away, you won't be able to hear it, right?" Liu Yina saw her husband looking back and couldn't help asking, "Husband, what's wrong?" She also followed Yi Chen's gaze and looked at the shop assistants and asked again, "What are those women talking about?" Yi Chen had no intention of hiding it from her, so he told her everything he had heard. Liu Yina laughed. "Wow, I'm actually a rich woman." Yi Chen was also somewhat helpless. "I have become a gigolo who relies on my wife, pitiful, weak, and helpless." Liu Yina burst out laughing at his expression. "Husband, don't be sad about this. It's not worth it. Let others say whatever they want. My husband is the best and most amazing husband in the world. That's all I know." She paused and said, "No matter what you do, people will gossip about you. If you were the one paying this time, they would definitely say I was a mistress or something like that, so just be yourself." Yi Chen also hugged Liu Yina. "Wife, I'm not angry either. You are right. After all, not everyone can be a gigolo." Liu Yina also laughed out loud when she heard this. Yi Chen also thought about what Liu Yina had just said. "Wife, you are right. Some things just need to be done by yourself. I'm not really angry, I just don't want others to laugh at you. My wife does not allow others to gossip. Liu Yina nodded. Thank you, husband, for defending me, but I won't be sad because of other people's gossip. After all, I have heard a lot of these unpleasant words in the past. Liu Yina still felt a little disappointed when she thought of the bad words she had faced in the past. But when she looked at Yi Chen, she felt that it was all worth it. Yi Chen naturally knew this, because he had heard other girls say bad things about Liu Yina. At the same time, I also understand that people's words are scary. Chapter 238, Finding a Bone Marrow Donor. After Yi Chen finished sighing, he said to Liu Yina, Wife, let's not talk about the past anymore. You are mine now, and I will never let you get hurt again. Let's go shopping. After buying your things, we have to buy some for the baby. Liu Yina came back to her senses and nodded. The two walked into the famous brand store across the street and spent nearly 2 million in total. I bought bags, clothes, and shoes for Liu's mother and Yi's mother respectively, and Liu Yina also bought a few sets of clothes. And because this store has a delivery service, Yi Chen bought more from there. Finally, I bought an autumn coat and a belt for Mr. Liu and Mr. Yi respectively. As soon as Yi Chen and Liu Yina walked out of the store, the clerk of the store opposite asked in the group. It turned out that they had a work group, and they knew all the shop assistants across the street. How much did that couple spend at your place? They spent quite a lot here, more than 180,000. At this time, one of the clerks in the opposite store replied, What? Only 180,000? They spent nearly 3 million in our store. Moreover, they are a couple and they also bought things for their parents. When they left just now, I heard that they were going to the maternity and baby store to buy things for their children. What? Are they really a couple? Yes, and that man is quite rich. He paid nearly 3 million in one go without even blinking and just swiped his card, and it wasn't even a credit card. That woman is so lucky. She's pretty too, and she has over 1 billion in savings. I say, is there a possibility that the man is rich and gave all his money to his wife? OMG. Now they started discussing it hotly in the work group. Those shop assistants were quite regretful. If they had treated Yi Chen and his friends well at the beginning, they might have spent millions in the store. After Yi Chen and Liu Yina walked out of the store, they walked for 2 or 3 minutes and went to the mother and baby store here. This is a newly opened mother and baby store. It is not a chain store, but the decoration looks good. The store is quite large, and there is a small children's playground, which is about 6 square meters in size. Yi Chen and Liu Yina also bought a lot of children's things in this store, including drinking cups, aprons, scarves, toothbrushes, etc. Of course, toys are indispensable. The babies are now more than 4 months old. Although the family has bought toys for them to practice hand grasping, Yi Chen and his friends still want to buy some when they see them. They are so cute that they can't help themselves. Both of them are extremely loving, but only towards their own children. The 2 men came out of the store carrying a lot of things. Yi Chen said to Liu Yina, Wife, I won't buy it anymore. It's almost time. Let's go shopping next time. The stores here are really good. Liu Yina also said, Yes, the shopping malls I visited before didn't have as many varieties as this one. Let's just leave it at that for today. Next time I come to visit Yingying, I'll go shopping with her to my heart's content. Yi Chen said, Then let's go back first. These things are quite heavy. After shopping, the 2 walked back to the car carrying a bunch of things. Just as Yi Chen was about to start the car, his cell phone rang. It was a call from Hu Jingkeng, chairman of the Dahai Charity Foundation. After Yi Chen answered the phone, he heard Hu Jingkeng say very respectfully on the phone, Hello, Mr. Yi Chen. This call is to report to you about the progress of Liu Mingxuan's condition. Upon hearing this, Yi Chen couldn't help but perk up and asked, Oh, have you found the right bone marrow? If you really find it, that would be great. Hu Jingkang replied on the other end of the phone. Yes, Mr. Yi, the hospital has already started the bone marrow transplant plan, and the surgery will be ready in about a month. I wonder, should we publicize this incident? Yi Chen thought for a moment and said, No need. It's a good deed anyway. It's better to keep a low profile on future charity work. There's no need to publicize it everywhere. Hu Jingkang was also stunned. In the past, every time the foundation did something, it would publicize it to the media. This way, the foundation could gain greater fame and more people would donate. Unexpectedly, what if Yi Chen decided to let things take their own course? This is unscientific. However, now that the chairman of the fund has said so, he has no choice but to do as he is told. Yi Chen just felt that there was no need to magnify every single thing. It would be fine if there were media reports, but there was no need to look for them if there were none. This incident had caused such a big stir before, and apart from giving an explanation to the media, there was no need to do anything else, because this incident itself was a hot topic, and there was no need to take the initiative to find someone to expose it. After finishing the call with Hu Jingkeng, I looked at the time on my phone and it was almost 6 o'clock. Yi Chen said to Liu Yina, "How about we go to Liu Fuji to see Dad today?" When Liu Yina thought of the recent events, she nodded and said, "Okay, I don't know what the quality of the new people my dad hired is like. Let's go and take a look." She also felt sorry for her father. For Liu Fuji, she understood what her father had paid and endured. Yi Chen drove Liu Yina to Liu Fuji. When they entered Liu Fuji, they saw that the entrance was full of cars. When Mr. Liu saw his son-in-law and daughter coming to see him, he hurried over from the door. "Open the reserved parking space at the door and let them park in." "Nana Yi Chen, why are you here?" Liu Yina glanced at the store and said, "Dad, we came to see you and see if you can handle it." Father Liu smiled and said, "It's okay. Since Yi Chen came here for a few days to instruct the chefs, the dishes have tasted much better. Look, there are many old and new customers coming here to eat now. I also followed Yi Chen's management system with clear rewards and punishments, so now the whole store is moving in a good direction." At this time, Yi Chen also got down from the driver's seat and asked, "Dad, has anyone caused any trouble recently?" Father Liu smiled and said, "Nothing has been discovered yet. Everything is fine. Have you eaten yet? If not, I will go to the kitchen to prepare food. There is also a private room on the 3rd floor." Yi Chen smiled and said, "Dad, we can just eat in the lounge behind the cashier. You haven't eaten either, right? Let's eat together." Liu Yina also knew that her father would forget to eat once he was busy, so she pulled her father into the rest room. This lounge was built for Mr. Liu. It is only about 10 square meters and has a coffee table and a small sofa. He can drink tea and take a rest here when he is tired. Father Liu also listened to Liu Yina and Yi Chen and had a meal with them here. Yi Chen kept nodding as he ate the dishes. "Dad, these chefs are pretty good." Father Liu also nodded and said, "I still make the signature marinade myself. I can't give it to others casually, otherwise it will ruin my reputation." After the last incident, Mr. Liu has become much more cautious. Chapter 239, Everything is Ready. Yi Chen also nodded. "Some things are better done by our own people, but it's hard work, Dad." Father Liu also waved his hand. "It's not a big deal. The most important thing is that the restaurant's business is better than before, and it has been recognized by many people. This is the most important thing. Nothing is more important than this." Father Liu suddenly said, "Nana, your classmate Deng Jai asked for leave yesterday. She said she wanted to go back to her hometown to pick up her father. She rented a house here a week ago. Ask her if she needs any help." After hearing this, Liu Yina and Yi Chen also remembered what happened to Deng Jai. Liu Yina said, "She wanted to bring her father to Xiangcheng because her father was ill and his lower body was paralyzed, so he had to come here to receive rehabilitation treatment. Yi Chen and I have already told her that we will do our best to help her, but she actually secretly ran back to her hometown to pick up her father without telling us." Father Liu said, "This girl is good and knows how to be grateful. She did this because she didn't want to trouble you too much." Liu Yina also nodded. "Dad, I know this. She has a strong sense of self-esteem." When she thought about what happened to Deng Jai before, she felt a little bit reluctant. "Yi Chen, please contact your friend immediately to see if the hospital can do a full-body checkup for Deng Jai's father. Don't ask for treatment." Yi Chen nodded. "Don't worry, honey, I'll take care of this matter." At the same time, he said to his wife, Liu Yina, "Nana, when you get back, give her a call and leave the rest to me." Liu Yina nodded. After returning home, Liu Yina called Deng Jai immediately. "Xiao Jai, why did you run back to your hometown without telling me? If my dad hadn't told me this today, I wouldn't have known about it." Deng Jai was also a little embarrassed on the other end of the phone. I just don't want to trouble you too much." Liu Yina didn't come to blame her. "Forget it. When will you come back? I'll ask Yi Chen to get ready here, first do a full body check for Uncle, and then arrange the best rehabilitation hospital for Uncle." Deng Jai was extremely grateful. "Thank you, Nana. My family and I have decided to take the high-speed train back tomorrow. We will probably be back in Hong Kong in the evening." Liu Yina, "Well, remember you must call me when you come back, otherwise I will be really angry." Deng Jai said with emotion, "Thank you, Nana, I will definitely do it." Originally, she has already received tens of thousands of yuan in rewards through her job at Bayadeli Company. Together with her job at Liu Fuji, she also earns 30,000 to 40,000 yuan a month, which means she now has two incomes. Because the Bayadeli Company has always treated her as an employee and also assigned her the task of keeping a close eye on Liu Fuji. So she thought that working is also working. So she simply accepted both jobs and thus had the income from 2 jobs. This also allows her to rent a house in Xiancheng and gives her the confidence to bring her family to Xiancheng. She finally gained a temporary foothold in Xiancheng. Now, as long as Dad's illness is cured, our family can live happily together. From now on, only her family can give her a direction to strive for. Yi Chen was also talking on the phone with someone on the balcony. Yi Chen, are you sure you have collected all the evidence? The person on the other end of the phone was Wang Lin from the Bayadeli Security Company. Now, Wang Lin had become Yi Chen's personal assistant. Whether Yi Chen was investigating someone or taking some action, he would basically ask Wang Lin to do it. But the Bayadeli Security Company is indeed in this business. If not Wang Lin, who else can we find? Wang Lin said with certainty on the other end of the phone. Yes, Mr. Yi Chen, with just one word from you, the collected evidence will be released, and Hanlin Restaurant will be ruined. Yi Chen sneered and said, Then send it out. I want to see if this Hanlin Restaurant can take my move. How dare you touch my father-in-law? Take it. Wang Lin, okay, Mr. Yi Chen. After hanging up the phone with Wang Lin, Liu Yina came over. Liu Yina asked, Husband, Xiaoji and her father will be back tomorrow night, so we have to get ready the day after tomorrow. Is your friend's place okay? If not, we have to find another way. Yi Chen said, That will definitely be no problem. Leave it to me. Give me her phone number later and I'll send her the time and place. Liu Yina took out her cell phone and searched for it, then sent Deng Jai's phone number to Yi Chen. Then I'll leave this matter to you. Yi Chen promised, Don't worry, my husband will do the job. Yi Chen picked up his phone on the spot and sent a message to Wang Lin. After a while, Yi Chen received a reply from Wang Lin. Yi Chen added Deng Jai's WeChat using her mobile phone number and immediately copied the time, place, doctor's phone number, etc., and sent them to her. Of course, Yi Chen also sent Deng Jai's contact information to Wang Lin. So when the time comes, someone from the hospital will call Deng Jai and the others. Yi Chen also asked Wang Lin to arrange someone to send Deng Jai and the others over, and made all the arrangements. Only then did Yi Chen have time to go back and be intimate with his baby. There are so many things to do recently. In addition to going to school, there are also a lot of company matters waiting for him. Now they received the advertising clip sent by Liu Ming. After Yi Chen and Liu Yina watched it together, they immediately made a decision to implement this plan. After receiving the order, Liu Ming immediately asked the advertising company to rush to produce it. The advertising company also has its own packaging company, so they took over the printing work as well. He knew this before looking for the advertising company, so Yi Chen felt that one-stop service would be the best, and it would save him from having to find another manufacturer to produce it. The pharmaceutical factory also worked overtime overnight to produce health products, and after packaging, they can be put on the market. Yi Chen had already contacted the marketing departments of June 1st Baby and the 2 chain stores under his name, and asked Liu Ming to connect with them. Liu Ming will be very busy in the future, and Chen Zugui's connections will come in handy at this time, because some of his friends used to work in pharmacies, hospitals, etc., and now Chen Zugui has contacted these friends. Therefore, Yi Chen doesn't need to worry too much about the market. Everything is ready, just waiting for production. Chapter 240, Renovation of Hanlin Restaurant. The child is growing up day by day. Although he is not able to sit up or crawl yet, he can roll around in bed. If you really put these 3 little babies together, they will really fight. Here, the most agile one is the little boy Erbao. Not only is he good at turning over, but he is also very active. Dabao may seem a little clumsy because of his big size. It had been almost an hour since the 3 babies finished their feeding. Yi Chen and Liu Yina had almost finished their work, and only came to the baby's room to play with the baby around 9 o'clock. While Yi Chen was teasing Xiaoguiguai, he was dreaming. I wonder if these babies will quarrel after they learn to talk. Now they are all babbling here, and I don't know what they want to express. Liu Yina smiled. You will know when you grow up, right? Husband, come quickly, I will take pictures of you and the baby. Now Liu Yina and Yi Chen's daily life basically consists of their children and family. In their eyes, family is always placed in an important position. Just like this time, Gyu Su from Hanlin Restaurant wanted to take over Liu's father's Liu Fuji. Originally, Yi Chen thought that the past was over, and Gyu Ming had already received the punishment he deserved. Yi Chen has also learned from Li Lijai, the school gossip recycling station, that Guo Ming has lost his fertility and is now secretly looking for a famous doctor to treat his infertility. If Guo Su had not taken action against Liu Fuji, Yi Chen would not have let Wang Lin investigate him, nor would he have set up Hanlin Restaurant. Guo Su's method is to plot, but Yi Chen's method is relatively open and above board. Yi Chen simply handed the collected evidence to the media and let the media expose it. Therefore, the Hanlin Restaurant incident that night instantly caused a sensation in Hong Kong and even the whole country. After all, this is the internet age, and any small thing can attract the attention of the whole nation. What's more, the Hanlin Restaurant incident is not a small incident. When Yi Chen opened his phone to watch videos, he immediately saw the hot search. And this is exactly the hot search that Yi Chen bought for Hanlin Restaurant. The purpose is also to let more people see it. Yi Chen saw more than a dozen articles about Hanlin Restaurant, and each of the titles was very eye-catching. There were incidents involving cockroaches and rats in restaurants, as well as chefs not washing their hands after going to the toilet, smoking while cooking, Helicobacter pylori being found in dishes and chopsticks, and people wiping their noses but continuing to cook or wash vegetables without washing their hands. All these hygiene incidents were once all over the internet. In less than 10 minutes, it had received over 10,000 likes, reposts, and comments. In the comment section, there were even more curses. "Oh my God, finally someone dared to expose Hanlin Restaurant. I took a picture of it before. After the waiter wiped his nose, he continued to serve me food. Oh my God, I almost vomited. Stop talking, I'm already vomiting. You don't know, last time I found a very small cockroach in a plate of pickled cucumbers. I even took a picture. If you don't believe me, you can check out my Douyin. I'm going to post this in the group of loving families. My parents always like to go there for tea. One time I had diarrhea the whole night after I got home. I spent hundreds of dollars on injections and medicine, and it still didn't heal. Yeah, the guy upstairs, did he eat the charcoal grilled oysters there? They weren't cooked thoroughly, and if you have a weak stomach, you'll easily get gastroenteritis. Oh my God, I have already made a reservation for tomorrow. I'd better call my parents and cancel it tomorrow. Oh no, everyone, don't go there anymore. Oh my God, what's going on tonight? There are so many videos about Hanlin Restaurant all of a sudden. Could it be a prank by a colleague? A prank by a colleague? If his family wasn't really that bad, who would dare to prank him so blatantly? Didn't you see those people above who have personally verified it? I think everyone should be more rational. After all, the competition is so fierce now. I always feel that there is a lot of conspiracy. Anyway, I just think that's not good. The public has sharp eyes. If you hadn't done such a bad job, it would have been impossible for someone to take a picture of you, right? Yes, if you don't want others to know, then don't do it. If you do it, you should expect it to be exposed. Yi Chen watched all this with a sneer. He estimated that the entire Guo family would have a sleepless night tonight. As expected, Guo family. Now the company's directors are clamoring to withdraw their shares. What do you want me to do? At this time, Guo Su's father Guo Hanlin was scolding him with an impatient look on his face. You know, Hanlin Restaurant is the result of his hard work for more than 20 years. From a small stall to today's large store with dozens of stores, the hardships involved can be imagined. It's just a pity that I didn't educate my two sons well. However, if you think that he has been walking on such an innocent path for more than 20 years, you are wrong. Like father, like son, just look at the crooked upper beam and the crooked lower beam, and you will know that people from the same family will not marry well. Although Guo Hanlin regrets it now, he only blames his son for not learning the skills well enough. Look at all the good things you've done. They were discovered by others. Also, Hanlin Restaurant has been handed over to you for management now, and you've only achieved this kind of result for me to see. I thought Guo Ming was useless, and since you were quite smart, I wanted to train you to be my successor. But I didn't expect that both of my sons are as stupid as pigs. It's fine if a branch store was cheated. Now such scandals have been exposed. The most taboo in the catering industry is to have these hygiene problems. Don't you know that? Guo Hanlin pointed at Guo Su's nose and cursed at him, and also cursed Guo Ming, who was sitting there with an indifferent look on his face. Guo Su's face was full of dissatisfaction, but what could he do? Things had already happened, and the most important thing now was how to restore the restaurant's image. After Guo Hanlin finished scolding his two sons, he continued to get busy. The next day, for those who wanted to withdraw their shares, they quickly asked lawyers to handle the matter. However, as the head of Hanlin Restaurant, he shot a video and posted it online to apologize and promised to pay attention to hygiene issues in the future. The waiters who had problems have also been dismissed. Early in the morning, Yi Chen saw the official response from Hanlin Restaurant and just sneered. Want to mess with my father-in-law? Let's take a look at how much you weigh first. Chapter 240, One New Rewards. Guo Hanlin naturally knew that his son had wanted to mess with Liu Fuji before, but when he thought that Liu Fuji was just a restaurant from another place and was unfamiliar with the place, he did not take it too seriously. However, after his investigation, he found out that the people who wanted to target him were actually people from within the Bayadeli security company. Yi Chen naturally, deliberately let him know who did this, because Yi Chen wanted him to know that the person he offended was someone he could not afford to offend. You know, Bayadeli Security Company is the only super security company with paramilitary management in this country. You can imagine how powerful it is. When Guo Hanlin found out about the security company, he was shocked. As far as he knows, Bayali Security Company's business scope covers both domestic and overseas, and it has branches in dozens of countries. In other words, no matter where you go, if you are targeted by the people from Bayadeli Security Company, you can't escape. Moreover, this company was approved after strict review by all departments at home and abroad. The company uses super technical equipment and has its own army. Whether it is protecting people, objects, or media, it can do its best. This is a super company. And what Guo Hanlin knows, no matter whether it is told to you by Bayadelian or any other company or kept from you, you will never know. Probably, if you knew what was going on inside the company, it would definitely be shocking. The mere existence of an army is enough to scare people off. Moreover, you can't get shares of this company just because you want to, unless you have a system like Yi Chen. In a nutshell, this is a super awesome company. And if it is true that someone inside Poly Security Company wants to get him, then what can he use to fight back? I can only bear it silently. Yi Chen naturally knew this, so he leaked it out on purpose, with the purpose of making the Guo family retreat. We must let the Guo family know that the force behind Liu Fuji is the Bayadeli Security Company. Of course, in this fragrant city, people with a certain social status will naturally know something about social affairs. They all knew that Liu Fuji was not a simple restaurant, so they would often bring their guests and their families to Liu Fuji for dinner, and the purpose was known to everyone. It would be great if I could establish some relationship with the people at Bayadeli Security Company. After this series of events, Hanlin Restaurant's business plummeted. However, Liu Fuji was packed with guests, which formed a sharp contrast. After dealing with the Guo family, Yi Chen finally breathed a sigh of relief. It is estimated that the Guo family will not cause any more trouble after bankruptcy, so Yi Chen can rest assured. The Guo family did not survive until October. At the end of September, all of their stores closed. The Guo family also started a lawsuit because of people who withdrew their shares. It was really one wave after another. Once Yi Chen's health products were released, they quickly caused a craze. The price for children is 58 yuan per bottle, while the price for adults is 68 yuan per bottle. They are all affordable prices. Yi Chen wants everyone to be able to afford to buy, use, and eat them. This is meaningful. But people also have to be willing to do so. In addition, Deng Jai's father also received treatment in the best rehabilitation hospital because of Yi Chen, and his condition has improved. Yi Chen also took the babies to the Community Epidemic Prevention Station to get vaccinations for them before the holiday on October 1st. 3 carts were pushed out of the elevator together, which looked quite cool. Yi Chen was already familiar with the procedures here and quickly completed the registration procedures for the babies. Now all that was left was to wait for the injection. There were more than 20 people waiting in front of us, and it would probably take nearly an hour. But there is no other way. The child must be vaccinated and you must wait. No matter how well connected you are, you still have to get the necessary vaccinations. There is no such thing as privilege here. After waiting for about 20 minutes, because another clinic was opened on the other side, the process went much faster. In less than 30 minutes, it was Yi Chen's 3 babies' turn. They were just called out by their names separately. Dabo and Erba were called first, and Xiaoguigui's name has not been called yet. Liu Yina and Yi's mother carried Dabo and Erba into Clinic 1 and 2 respectively, leaving Yi Chen holding Xiaogui waiting outside the door. Of course, there were also Liu's mother and an aunt. Before the injection, the 2 brothers stared at the nurse with wide eyes, and when the needle was inserted, they immediately burst into tears. After the injection, Liu Yina gently and carefully comforted Dabo in her arms while helping Dabo press the needle hole. The second baby on the other side is in a similar situation. Probably he is a little older now. He is more than 5 months old. He is stronger and has a worse temper. He almost kicked himself to the ground. Fortunately, Mother Yi held him tightly. Mother Yi also hurried over to help Erbao hold the needle hole and joked, "Don't be fooled by Erbao's gentle appearance. When he gets angry, he is even more stubborn than his brother. Look at how hard he is crying." When Dabo heard Erbao's crying, he quickly stopped crying, looked in the direction of Erbao and actually smiled. And the little cutie must have heard his two brothers crying, so he started crying too. Yi Chen comforted Xiaoguai. "Xiaoguai, are you crying because you heard your brothers crying sadly?" Mother Yi also laughed. "He is such a smart kid. He is just little, not stupid. He must have started crying when he saw his two brothers crying after getting injections. That's the only thing a child can think. When he sees something dangerous, he must have started crying out of fear the first time." Yi Chen held little darling and said, "Little darling, be good, it will be fine soon." At this time, the person calling the numbers called out Xiaoguai's name. Yi Chen took the vaccination booklet and walked in holding Xiaoguai. "Doctor, please be gentler, my baby is scared." The doctor was also amused by Yi Chen's words. Okay, little boy, be good, auntie will be gentler." But even so, the little cutie still started crying because of the prickly air. Yi Chen also felt distressed, but how could an injection not be painful? But this is the truth, and it doesn't stop Yi Chen from feeling sorry for his child. Who wouldn't feel sorry for their own children? The system also sounded at this time. Take the baby to get vaccinated and reward the host with a copy of New Energy Black Technology. The file information has been placed in the system space for the host. Yi Chen was shocked by the system's action. New Energy, or Black Technology. OMG. Be sure to take a closer look when you get home. This is good stuff. If this black technology is really put into practice, it will benefit mankind. After all, the energy on Earth is becoming less and less. If new energy is developed, regardless of whether it makes money or not, it will definitely benefit mankind. Thinking of this, Yi Chen felt excited. Even Liu Yina, who was standing by, noticed that something was wrong with her husband and asked, "Honey, are you okay? Are you feeling uncomfortable somewhere?" Yi Chen exhaled, smiled, and said, "No, I'm just a little excited thinking about the future." Liu Yina thought he was just thinking about the future when the child grows up, so she smiled and said, "Why think so much?" After saying that, he pushed the child out of the elevator. Chapter 242, everyone was shocked. Yi Chen no longer thought about the new energy issue. He hurried home and thought about this issue after he got home. After giving the baby vaccinations, he walked out with his family. The RV was driven over, and Yi Chen helped carry the cart into the car, and ready to get in the driving seat and drive home. But at this moment, an unlicensed motorcycle suddenly passed in front of Yi Chen, rushed onto the sidewalk, and kidnapped a child walking on the roadside. The child's mother was tying her shoelaces and was not holding her child. When she saw her child being taken away by a motorcycle, she immediately shouted, "Help! Steal the child! Help my child! Snatch the child!" Seeing this, Yi Chen also reacted quickly and rushed forward directly. However, Yi Chen knew too little about his current strength. When he tried his best to catch up, with only 1 second of starting time, it took him about 4 or 5 seconds to rush ahead of the motorcycle. Whether it was the mother of the kidnapped child, passers-by, the human traffickers who kidnapped the child, or Yi Chen himself, they were all shocked. The child's mother and passers-by were all staring at Yi Chen's, receding back in amazement. "I can't even speak," Yi Chen screamed in his heart. "Oh my God, how can I run so fast?" But now is not the time to think about these things. Now is to get the child back. Yi Chen quickly adjusted his speed, running parallel to the motorcycle. Fortunately, it was afternoon and there were not many cars. Otherwise, with the speed of the motorcycle, it would definitely hit other cars. The child in the car was crying loudly. The man in the back seat quickly covered the child's mouth and pressed the child between himself and the driver. The child made ooh, ooh sounds from his mouth. Yi Chen looked at the child, who was only almost 2 years old and was scared. The decision was made immediately. Yi Chen slowed down a bit and chased after the motorcycle. The two people on the motorcycle were secretly rejoicing, finally got rid of it. Unexpectedly, Yi Chen stretched out his left hand towards the human trafficker sitting on the back of the motorcycle, grabbed the man's waistband, and pulled him back with force. Just like that, he pulled the trafficker down and lifted him up. Yi Chen braked in time and quickly punched out with his right hand, hitting the trafficker hard in the face while he was wearing a helmet. The human trafficker had already been frightened by Yi Chen at that time, And now he was hit by a heavy punch from Yi Chen. He vomited blood and fainted on the spot. Yi Chen's punch was quite powerful. The human trafficker probably had a concussion. After the human trafficker fainted, he loosened his hands that were covering the child. Yi Chen quickly picked up the child with his right hand and threw the human trafficker to the ground with his left hand like garbage. The human trafficker on the motorcycle also lost his balance instantly because of Yi Chen's pull and crashed into the street lamp with his motorcycle. It just hit him crookedly, and the human trafficker was knocked flying more than 10 meters away. He fainted on the spot. If he hadn't been wearing a helmet, his brain would have been exploded. There was a bloody mark on the ground due to friction, and the injury was serious. And all this happened within just 1.5 minutes, and everyone was shocked by Yi Chen. It took the child's mother several minutes to catch up, and she quickly took the child from Yi Chen's arms and comforted him. And he kept thanking Yi Chen. "Thank you, benefactor. Thank you for your help, sir. Baby, it's okay. Uncle saved you. Don't cry. Mommy is here." Yi Chen sighed. "It's okay. Be careful when walking on the street next time. Don't let the child walk alone otherwise. I really can't imagine it. Today's human traffickers are really cruel. In broad daylight, they blatantly snatched the child. The security guards from the Bayadeli Security Company, who were secretly protecting Yi Chen's family, were also stunned. OMG. The boss's speed is comparable to that of a leopard. We definitely can't catch up with him." At this time, a lot of people quickly gathered to watch the fun. Someone also helped call the police. Liu Yina also put the child down, asked Liu's mother and others to stay in the car, and ran up herself. "Honey, are you okay? What's wrong? What happened?" Looking at the scene in front of her, Liu Yina probably guessed something. Yi Chen also didn't want to make her worry and said, "I'm fine, I just helped catch the traffickers. These 2 traffickers actually dared to snatch the child. Fortunately, I caught them." Since Liu Yina had a child, she has always put her child first. If someone snatched her child, she would definitely fight that person to the death. Looking at the mother and child squatting on the ground crying, she was also very angry. "I'm glad my husband is okay. These human traffickers are really desperate. They dared to snatch children on the street. Fortunately, my husband stopped them." Liu Yina also squatted down and comforted the mother and son. At this time, a traffic police patrol car also stopped quickly. The police also received a report and arrived in less than 5 minutes. The traffic police quickly cordoned off the area and maintained traffic. The police also got out of the car and took a look at the crime scene. "What happened? Who reported the case?" A middle-aged woman also walked out of the crowd and said, "Uncle Police, I called the police. Someone here is trying to snatch a child, and this young man caught him." The police looked in the direction the middle-aged woman pointed and saw Yi Chen, a mother and son squatting on the ground crying, and Liu Yina. The policeman nodded, walked over, and said to Liu Yina, "Miss, we meet again." It turned out that this policeman was the same person, Captain Han, who was involved in the last kindergarten fire incident. And this time, it was the captain who came to answer the call. Seeing that it was an acquaintance, Yi Chen also smiled and said, "Thank you for your hard work, Captain." Liu Yina naturally remembered the police captain and smiled at him. At this time, people around were also talking about it. "Hey, did you guys just take a video? We captured video of him catching a human trafficker, but we didn't capture his speed. That speed is probably better than even the world champion in 100-meter running. Yeah, it was too fast. I guess only the surveillance cameras could see it." Captain Han also heard what these people said, but the most important thing now is to control the scene. People who are not related to the case, please disperse immediately and do not hinder the police from investigating the case. All the other people involved, come back with me and make a statement. I'll have the traffic police check the surveillance footage to confirm the circumstances of the 2 suspects' crimes. The rest of the matter will be handed over to the criminal police. Snatching children is really a punishment. Chapter 243, Liu Fuji is popular. At this time, the mother who was squatting on the ground also came to her senses. He immediately accused the 2 human traffickers and expressed his gratitude to Yi Chen. As he spoke, he was about to kneel down to Yi Chen again. Yi Chen and Liu Yina both helped the child's mother up at the same time. The child was still wiping his nose. Liu Yina took out a tissue from her bag, handed it to the mother, and wiped the boy's nose. And gently comforted, "Don't be afraid, the police are here, you're fine." At this time, 120 also arrived and lifted the 2 men into the ambulance. The police also handcuffed the 2 men and followed 120 to the hospital. These 2 damn human traffickers, just let them die. Why bother saving them? That's right. You know, the bad things they did were enough to get them killed several times. The people present were all middle-aged women, uncles and grandpas with children. When they heard the word human trafficker, they started cursing. Yi Chen said to Liu Yina, "Wife, I will go back with the police to make a statement. You can take the children back first. Drive carefully." Liu Yina also knew the police's rules of conduct. After all, this was not a trivial matter, so she nodded. "I'll drive over to pick you up in a bit. I'll wait for you outside the police station." Yi Chen nodded. Originally, he didn't want to trouble Liu Yina and decided to just take a taxi back. But after thinking about it, he decided to come since his wife wanted to come. After Yi Chen and Liu Yina parted ways, he got into the police car with the mother and son. While taking statements at the police station, the family members of the mother and son also came. At this time, the mother and son had calmed down a lot, but the family members wanted to kneel down to Yi Chen as soon as they saw him. Yi Chen and the police quickly helped the child's family up. Only then was the record taken smoothly. When coming out of the police station, Yi Chen quickly got into Liu Yina's car to avoid being chased by the child's family and having to kneel down again. To be honest, Yi Chen did this out of instinct because he saw someone snatching the child, so he naturally went up to snatch the child back the first time. Yi Chen could understand the reaction of the child's family. If a child is really missing, the harm to the family will be indelible. Today's human traffickers are so despicable. Yi Chen became very angry when he thought of this. But at this moment the system rang. "The host has done a brave job, and I will reward him with a righteous law firm." Justice law firm. Is there any point? Suddenly, I was given a law firm. Will I encounter many situations in the future where the decisions will all be made by law firms? But no matter what, with a law firm, it will be much more convenient to do things in the future, and I won't have to hire another lawyer. From now on, I will leave my own company to my own people. By the time the child's family came out, Yi Chen had already disappeared. Liu Yina was driving and couldn't help laughing. "Why do you look like a thief?" Yi Chen had no choice but to say, "The child's family is really too polite. They kneeled down as soon as they came in. Oh, I can't bear it." Liu Yina smiled. "You should check Daoyan first. The official announcement has been made. The video of you helping the police catch human traffickers has been released. Husband, you are so brave." When Liu Yina said this, the car speed obviously increased a lot. Yi Chen was so scared that he grabbed the car door and said to Liu Yina, "Nana, why don't I drive? Be careful not to get excited." Liu Yina shook her head. "I am carrying the hero that the whole city is looking for. Just sit back and relax." Yi Chen didn't dare to be distracted by looking at his phone, while Liu Yina was driving. I had to shut up and dare not speak, but Liu Yina was still speaking excitedly. I learned from Liu Yina that Yi Chen's arrest of the suspect was leaked by traffic police officer Si Fang, but the video was not very clear. Yi Chen's speed was so fast that even the surveillance cameras could hardly capture his figure. When Daoyan's users saw it, everyone started commenting below. "Oh my God, did he fly? I didn't even see how he started running. He ran so far in a short time. If he were to participate in a world competition or the Olympics, he would definitely crush all the previous champions. In my opinion, we should just apply for a Guinness World Record. I've only seen this kind of speed in science fiction movies." The comments on the other side were blaming the two human traffickers. "How dare you snatch a child in broad daylight? You must be tired of living. Good hit, good crash, death is the best. Yes, all human traffickers should be shot. I am the child's aunt. The child was just frightened for a moment. I am grateful to the young man who saved him. I wish him good health. We learned from the police that he is an employee of Liu Fuji. His family has prepared a banner to present to him." This last one was directly ranked first. It turned out that Yi Chen filled in Liu Fuji as his workplace, and the child's family thought he was an employee of Liu Fuji. However, Yi Chen's action actually made Liu Fuji popular. "Oh my God, this little brother is actually an employee of Liu Fuji. Let's go to the market together tonight. Yes, 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 let's go together and meet the rescuer. Ask the boss to give me a raise." Now, Liu Fuji has become popular on the internet. At night, Liu Fuji's business is booming. There are more customers than before, and the waiting line is almost 100 people long. Mr. Liu was also very puzzled by this. Later, I learned the truth from the guests. "Do you think that brother Yi Chen is at work today?" "How would I know? But the food here is really delicious, fresh, and tender. I think you can come here often in the future." "Yeah, but if I meet that guy, I still want to take a photo with him. After all, he is an internet celebrity nowadays. I think Liu Fuji's boss should reward him with a month's salary or something. That's right, if he hadn't acted in time, the two human traffickers would have snatched the child away. The car was going so fast, there's no telling where the child was taken to. Isn't it? We can't let this dampen the little brother's passionate heart. As he said this, he also looked in the direction of Mr. Liu at the cashier counter. When Mr. Liu heard the name Yi Chen, he was also surprised. What human traffickers? What is stealing children? Saved by Yi Chen. What is going on? At this time, the cashier also handed over the phone. Boss, can you take a look? Father Liu was also very excited when he read the official news. So that's what's going on. Good job, Yi Chen. You really are worthy of being my son-in-law. Looking at the popular restaurant in front of me, I feel excited. But the kitchen couldn't take it anymore. A chef came out. Boss, we don't have enough ingredients for today. If we stir-fry them a few more times, they will be gone. Father Liu also came back to his senses from his excitement. I actually forgot about this. The number of customers suddenly increased several times, but the store's daily purchases were limited, and now even the chef ran out. It was obvious that even the spare ones had been used up. Mr. Liu quickly asked the kitchen to clean up the spare ingredients, and asked the waiter to note down which dishes should be ordered and which should not be ordered. Fortunately, the waiters are equipped with intercoms, so they can inform you in time if some dishes are out of ingredients. Chapter 240, For the Whole Family is Good People. Mr. Liu also stepped forward to persuade those who were still queuing to leave. I'm so sorry. Please come back tomorrow because the kitchen is out of ingredients. I'm so sorry for your enthusiasm. Mr. Liu had good intentions as he didn't want to delay everyone's meals. If they were to go hungry, it would be bad for both them and the reputation of the store. However, those people said, "We came here just to see the young man. It doesn't matter if we can't eat it." Father Liu had no choice but to say, "Yi Chen is our son-in-law. He is not here now, so everyone may have made a wasted trip." After hearing what Mr. Liu said, those people instantly became interested. What? That guy isn't an employee here. He's the son-in-law of the owner of this restaurant. Oh my God, I just asked the boss to give that guy some reward money. Who would have thought that guy is actually the son-in-law of the boss here? How hasty. All of a sudden, it caused people to talk about it again. But no one in the waiting crowd wanted to leave. At this moment, the child's family appeared at the door of Liu Fuji holding a banner. Father Liu was being asked about Yi Chen. When those people saw the child's family, they quickly made way for them. Wow, they actually sent a banner. That's pretty fast. Oh my God, catch up with the live broadcast. Hurry up and take a video. The family members also came to Liu's father and asked, "Excuse me, are you the owner of the restaurant? I am the child's father, and these are the grandparents, the child and the mother. Some other relatives have also come with us. We are the family of the rescued child. We came here tonight to find the little brother named Yi Chen." At this time, the child's mother also walked forward holding the child. "Yes, boss. Your employee Yi Chen saved our child today, and now we are here to give him a banner." Father Liu was also dizzy from being asked so many questions, and replied, "My son-in-law is not here now. I will give him a call and ask him to come over." The child's relatives were also confused when they heard this. It turns out that my benefactor is not an employee here, but the boss's son-in-law. I just heard some people talking about it, and I didn't expect it to be true. That's really a good person. Father Liu quickly called Yi Chen and said, "Yi Chen, please come to Liu Fuji as soon as possible. The family of the child has come to give you a banner. They said they want to give it to you. I can't handle it anymore." Yi Chen, who was watching videos and eating at home, and was being questioned by Mother Yi and Mother Liu, received a call from Father Liu. "Oh, okay, Dad. I'll be right over. You hold on first." After hanging up the phone, I quickly told the two mothers about this. Mom, Dad asked me to go to Liu Fuji. He said that the child's relatives have found Liu Fuji and are going to give me a banner. Dad said he can't handle it any longer. "Ah, no way," Mother Yi asked worriedly. Dad said that so many people came that the store can't accommodate everyone. If I don't go, I guess he really can't handle it. Yi Chen was also helpless. People nowadays really like to join in the fun. They will take out their mobile phones to take photos and videos and post them on WeChat moments or in funny messages for any trivial matter. Then you should go over and take a look. Nana, you should go over too and take care of your dad. Don't let him get too excited. He can't bear it, Mother Liu urged. Mother Yi and Mother Liu were also worried about Liu Fuji, so they asked Liu Yina to go with them. When Yi Chen arrived, he found that the open-air parking lot was full of cars and crowded. Yi Chen quickly called and asked the property manager to come down to control the flow of people. Property manager Liu Quanzhang also answered the phone immediately. "Hello, Mr. Yi Chen. We have arrived at the scene as soon as possible." Yi Chen was sitting in the car at this time, not knowing whether he should get out or not, as there were no parking spaces on the roadside. "Are there any parking spaces in the underground parking lot?" Manager Liu replied. "Yes, Mr. Yi, I'll ask the security guard at the parking lot to pick you up." After Yi Chen parked the car, he took Liu Yina to find Liu's father. At this time, Yi Chen and Liu Yina, who were wearing masks, were spotted in the crowd at the first moment. "Look at that man and woman. Do they look like the man and woman who saved people today?" "It seems so. The clothes are the same as in the video." "It must be them. Let's follow them." With several security guards leading the way, Yi Chen walked all the way to the gate of Liu Fuji. Yi Chen quickly walked up to Liu's father and said, "Dad, are you okay?" Liu Yina immediately walked to Liu's father's side and supported him. Father Liu said, "I'm fine. Please come and take care of things here." Father Liu had lived for decades and had never seen such a big scene, nor had anyone ever given him a banner, so he was a little at a loss. At this time, the child's mother saw Yi Chen, the great benefactor, appear, and immediately stepped forward to present a banner. "My great benefactor, we have finally waited for you to show up. If you don't show up, we will wait here until you do." As she said this, the child's mother was about to kneel down to Yi Chen again. Yi Chen quickly helped the child's mother up and said, "There are so many people here, please don't kneel again, I can't bear it." The child's father quickly stepped forward and bowed. "If you don't want to kneel, please accept our greeting." "Yi Chen, why do they seem to be forming a sworn brotherhood? But forget it. They are also doing this out of gratitude." Now everyone in the crowd picked up their phones to take pictures. Everyone wanted to capture the moment and increase traffic for their own accounts. At the same time, they were also discussing, "Oh my God, is that the woman who put out the fire at the kindergarten last time? I saw that woman's bag is exactly the same as the woman who put out the fire before." Now that you put it that way, it seems to be the case. Could it be that the beautiful girl who put out the fire at the kindergarten is the daughter of Liu Fuji's boss, and the handsome guy who helped the police catch the human traffickers is her husband? No way, the whole family is good people. They all like to help others. As the saying goes, people from the same family stick together. Now I believe it. I am 100% sure that the beautiful woman who put out the fire is the daughter of the boss of Liu Fuji. It's her. Oh my gosh, I'm big news. Those people who can be seen in the front quickly took videos and compared them with the girls who put out the fire before. They can basically confirm Liu Yina's identity. Chapter 245, Accepting the Banner from Family Members. These people who came to join in the fun were able to guess that Liu Yina was the heroine who put out the fire in the kindergarten just by looking at a bag. The internet really does have memory, so you have to think carefully before doing anything. Liu Yina held Liu's father aside and watched Yi Chen and the others talking about the situation at that time. Liu Yina and her father Liu were also shocked when they heard this. "I really didn't expect this." It turned out that the situation was so thrilling. Fortunately, he didn't hit any car at that time. Otherwise, it would be really hard to say what would happen with Yi Chen's speed. Liu Yina didn't know that Yi Chen could run so fast. Her admiration for Yi Chen grew even stronger. Under the urging of the crowd, Yi Chen took the banner from the child's family and took a photo with Liu's father and Liu Yina. At the same time, people present took photos and videos and posted them online. Within this day, Yi Chen and Liu Fuji were instantly pushed to the top of the hot searches. Everyone left comments in the video. "From now on, Liu Fuji will be my canteen. The owner of this restaurant is so lucky. His daughter is a fire hero, and his son-in-law helped the police catch the human traffickers. Liu Fuji has been open for almost 2 months, right? I haven't been there yet. Why don't we go try it tomorrow? I don't think there will be any seats if we go there tomorrow. Look at the people upstairs. There are probably at least a few thousand people waiting to go. Oh my God, there are so many people. How long will it take to wait?" The child's family said that they would invite Yi Chen to have a meal here tomorrow and wanted Father Liu to reserve the largest private room for them. However, Yi Chen refused on the grounds of being busy with studies, but that did not stop them from having the banquet here. The child's family also expressed their gratitude profusely and then left. Yi Chen and Liu Yina also had to rush back to see the baby. Yi Chen really didn't want to waste time, so he quickly drove Liu Yina home. When they got home, Mother Yi and Mother Liu came up to them and said, "Yi Chen, is it done?" "Yi Chen, it's done. I put the banner in the most conspicuous place in Liu Fuji's lobby so that everyone can see it. Dad is fine. He won't go home until the store closes." Actually, Yi Chen felt that Father Liu was really a person who was always worried. If there is a trustworthy person in the store to help watch it, there is no need to stay by the store. But it may also be because Liu Fuji has just been opened for a short time, so they have to keep a close eye on it. Plus, the employees in the store are all newly trained by Liu's father and are not yet able to handle things on their own. Therefore, Mr. Liu can only work harder himself. However, Mr. Liu was used to doing everything by himself, so he didn't find it that hard. Originally, he came to Xiangcheng to open a restaurant with the intention of taking root in Xiangcheng and preserving the Liu Fuji brand, so he felt that everything he did was natural. Because he is thinking of passing this to Dabao in the future, and might think that Mr. Liu is thinking too far ahead. But the old man's idea is so simple, if there is anything good, he wants to leave it to future generations. After hearing what Yi Chen said, Mother Yi and Mother Liu finally felt relieved. Yi Chen, Nana, you did a great job, facing his own son and his own daughter. Mother Yi and Mother Liu were also very relieved. After exchanging pleasantries for a while, they returned to their rooms. Yi Chen and Liu Yina also went to find the babies as soon as possible. The babies haven't gone to bed yet, probably because they had vaccinations today. All three are very excited. The babies are almost 6 months old, and the aunties are training them to try to sit up. However, the three babies all fell to the sides with their heads tilted. After falling to the side, he did not cry or make a fuss, but smiled in a baby voice. Seeing this, Yi Chen and Liu Yina hurried forward, each holding a baby and kissing them. Of course, they kissed the necks to tease the children, making the three babies laugh. The house is full of warmth. Yi Chen and Liu Yina were both reluctant to leave their babies. Today was a day off, and they rarely had time to spend with the children, but they didn't expect such a thing to happen. I couldn't help but sigh in my heart. I wish there was no kidnapping in the world. Yi Chen and Liu Yina waited until the babies fell asleep before returning to their room. When Liu Yina entered the bathroom, Yi Chen took out the 2 rewards he had received today and analyzed them carefully. He knows about the law firm, and what he is most interested in now is the black technology of new energy. Yi Chen took out the entire document and looked at it carefully for about 10 minutes. In fact, he couldn't understand it either, but there was one sentence he finally understood. It was a technology that used wind, thermal, and solar energy to generate electricity, and the energy utilization rate has reached 300%. What is explained above is that if you blow the wind, the energy generated can be amplified 3 times, while the technology currently mastered by humans only utilizes less than 10% of the energy. The energy utilization rate of this black technology can be increased by 3 times. In other words, if this technology is used to generate electricity, the result will be 3 times more efficient. This is a very scary thing, but in Yi Chen's eyes, he can see a business opportunity to make money. If I build a power station myself, even the smallest one, I can use this technology to its full potential. What would happen if this technology was installed in a car or RV? Does this mean that I don't need to charge it anymore? I just don't know how the things in here are done. What he needs most now is a new energy research and development team to turn all this technology into a real product. Thinking of this, Yi Chen thought of calling Wang Lin. Wang Lin also understood what Yi Chen meant. Mr. Yi, don't worry, we will help Yi Chen find a good new energy research and development company. Yi Chen shook his head. You still don't understand what I mean. I want to set up my own R&D team and make my own things. Yi Chen didn't want his technology to be leaked, so he had to find someone reliable. The first step is to set up a team of your own and apply for a patent for this technology. After understanding Yi Chen's meaning, Wang Lin immediately said that he would get it done as soon as possible. Bayadeli Security Company has the most complete information system, and it is very easy to find such talents. Yi Chen also believed in Wang Lin. After handing the matter over to Wang Lin, he put all the information back into the system space. This is a top-secret technology. Chapter 246, Educating Children, is the most important thing. The next morning, Yi Chen drove Liu Yina back to school. Everyone in the school knew what happened to Yi Chen last night. Everyone stared at Yi Chen and Liu Yina. They were also talking about it behind his back. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Not only is the school beauty beautiful and kind, but she also found such an amazing husband. Look at the speed of the school beauty's husband yesterday. It was really fast. It's really fast, he's really a fast boy. When they heard this, the people around them booed. Yi Chen also let out a hiss. Damn it, I'm running fast, but not that fast. What on earth are these people thinking? Liu Yina also smiled at Yi Chen. Husband, are you okay? Yi Chen was also very upset. Don't you feel distressed when you see others say that your husband is like this? Liu Yina laughed and said, don't I know whether my own husband is happy or not? Yi Chen also breathed a sigh of relief. Forget it, I can't tell others that I'm not a fast boy. After Yi Chen sent Liu Yina to the classroom door, he returned to his own classroom for class. While in class, Liu Yina also received a text message from her good friend Gu Yingying. Nana, are you busy? Are you free? Liu Yina replied, I'm in class, I'll call you back after class. Today we had an English class, but the teacher was not Liu Yina's neighbor, Wen Siyu. Instead, we had a different English teacher. Liu Yina also heard the news from other people that Wen Siyu had completed the resignation procedures from the university and returned to his hometown school to become a teacher. Liu Yina opened Wen Siyu's circle of friends on WeChat and saw his recent posts. The running track and school road of the middle school, a place full of memories. I thought about sending him a blessing, but in the end I held back. It's good this way. It's best as long as we are well and don't disturb each other. Liu Yina silently blessed Wen Siyu in her heart, hoping that he could be happy forever. After class, Liu Yina called Gu Ying